moving on. Keep moving on.
All right, everyone, it is now time for the penultimate match of the season. On one side, we have Elysium, our defending champs who have been sent here from the upper bracket after a decisive 0-3 defeat at the hands of Team Solo Invade. Their opponents, Omega Gaming, have just been rampaging through the lowers, currently on a 6-game winning streak, as they are hoping to ride that momentum all the way to the grand final. The winner will move on for a chance at the trophy against Team Solo Invade, and the loser of this best of 5 will finish the season in 3rd place. Let's get into this first draft, Storm.
Yeah, and already seeing a couple of things coming through that I was thinking were going to be bans the whole way through. This Alawi being banned by the side of Elysium for perspicacious. Guster Posey having their Ivern taken away. Omega saw that the once when they played back in week 2, and no one has given it to him since, and they have decided that they probably shouldn't give him that ban either.
Their side, we do have the
I was just
Ivern,
gonna
the Lucian, and the Jax get taken away.
yeah.
What were you going to highlight?
The Jax ban, that's Guster's champion very much in the jungle. It's not a CZI champion towards top lane. Think that's really interesting. Is kind of one of the more carry pick orientated things for him. Elysium gonna take the Sivir first pick. That's been very much kind of the Dilly special this year for Elysium, as he's very much been more towards utility, trying to make sure that he can neutralize lanes is how I would phrase it.
Yeah.
And wow, that's 2 very interesting picks into Sivir. I would think Ashe would be really terrible into her.
Yeah, that does seem a little bit questionable. But I mean, if you have enough CC, then
Yeah.
Sivir only has 1 spell shield, right? So you can just kind of overwhelm her in that regard. I did want to highlight in that 0-3 loss that Elysium did suffer last week against TSI. It felt like Dilly was kind of the one player on Elysium who was still performing pretty well. I felt like we saw some uncharacteristic underperformances from the top side last week. But Dilly did actually have a pretty solid performance on the Sivir in game 2, with 7-4-2, despite the loss. So definitely a good pick for Dilly as well. We got the Cassante and the Diana now coming through. Some really formidable team fight potential, I feel like, with this Elysium draft so far.
Yeah, I had really talked about this, that this is one of the things I thought that for Elysium was a big strength for them, that they had that ability to just Guster can play something that's very much more carry orientated. That, you know, if the kind of, oh, I'm gonna farm till 6 champions of the Nocturne and the Wukong are coming out that have been very prevalent picks for Omega, just slam it and go, I'm gonna play a farm jungler and I'm gonna play Diana and I'm gonna clear faster than you. And if we're gonna fight at level 6, my level 6 spike is like the best level 6 spike, right? Is how I feel. That I think it should be a really good matchup. Again, it's AP for the Wukong, who doesn't get any of that armor and things like that. And there's some really squishy people for Omega. So I really like this Diana pick early.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it benefits or it synergizes, I should say, very well with the Sivir also, right? To get you in position for those big moonfalls can be really powerful. But I do like, we had Lesser on the podcast just a moment ago, and I actually appreciated the fact that he kind of pushed back on the narrative that we often say in regards to Caxi, how he's really, the kind of the supportive jungler who plays more defensively. I feel like Caxi has had some really solid performances on these fighters, while the Wukong isn't necessarily a scaling threat on like a scaling carry threat necessarily on the same level as something like the Diana. I do think that it's going to be a really powerful option in the meta right now, and something that we have seen Caxi perform on very well in this postseason. So I'm excited to see that come out as well. We also do have the Ambessa that has been locked away for Perspicacious going up against CZI's Cassante. I do feel like Cassante has been one of CZI's best picks this season. And taking a
Yeah.
look at the second phase of bans here as well, the Seraphine and the Fizz gonna get banned away from Saren there, and the Thresh and the Poppy gonna get denied by Omega there on the red side.
Okay. And Omega's saving their support around 5 as they generally like to. This is something that Jay Young, I think, generally calls for and has been able to pull out some more interesting things. I wonder if there's going to be looks towards Renata Glass, I think might be interesting if, they're kind of playing that traditional Sivir run at you comp. But instead, they looking currently Syndra getting hovered. I think that makes sense. It's a good matchup into Victor, and that one is going to get locked in there.
Yeah, Watercat definitely one of those guys that we've seen have some really impressive performances on the Dark Sovereign. It is not the most amazing of mid jungles. Syndra,
Yeah.
Diana, it feels a little bit weird. Like Diana doesn't really want to fight too much early, so then the setup from the Syndra doesn't really get you that much in the laning phase. But Syndra definitely can be a big threat in those team fights later on as well. And now the Braum going to get picked up for Elysium. So pretty defensive option for the 2v2 indicates to me that, this is something that you kind of touched on already earlier as well. Feels like with this draft, Elysium are going to be pretty content to play it safe in the early game and really look to scale up towards those later stages.
Yeah, I just think Braum is a good. You basically are always happy to have Braum on your team, right? Is how I feel. He gives you a level 1 angle. He's great in lane generally. He's very good into like counter pickable supports, right? Like, if the enemy team takes that Renata Glass or Nami or things that are a bit more volatile, you have the Unbreakable Will that can block those things. So I really like that pick. I think it gives their team a bit more sticking power as well, that it doesn't let Omega kite them out as easily. That would be one of my kind of concerns with them, is how are they able to lock down this Ambessa? They don't have that much like actual, single target CC. It's very much, towards skill shots and things like that she would be able to dash out and maybe buffer things with that public execution. I think the Braum just gives you that way now that you can, when she comes in after the execution is finished, you can just stun her and then are able to land those Syndra pushes and that Diana Moonfall and things like that, or the Cassante W, whatever that's called, that kills you so fast. The push thing.
Cassante. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can't quite think of it right now. We'll get into it
Pathmaker, I
later.
don't know.
Yes, I think you're right. I think that's
Yeah.
actually absolutely right. But I want to touch on this Alistar R5 really quickly. I mean, we were just talking about how Jay Young often does like to go for these R5 support counter picks when Omega is on red side. But in this case,
Yeah.
it feels like a little bit of a self counter pick, right? Picking the Alistar into the Braum definitely doesn't feel great for the lane.
Yeah, but it's really, really good against Sivir, right? Because
Yeah,
when
because
you WQ combo Sivir, she can only block one, so she generally just always gets stunned, and then you can follow up with Ash stuns and things like that. The team needs a bit more like actual frontline and engage. So overall, I think it's good. Again, this lane isn't going to be something that's really volatile, right? It's Ash, so you don't have the most like proactive early game. There's the ability to kind of brawl, but Sivir, Braum, it just means that it's going to be kind of farming. I think this gives you like some options to look for roams, and that would be something I think Omega needs to, right? That you have Ambessa, which is a fairly volatile matchup into the Cassante. Syndra is very easy to gank as well, especially with the Victor gravity field to put under after an Alistair combo. So I think Omega's looking more to, let Ash be down by herself in this bot lane and play more towards that kind of rotations from Jay Young. That's what I'm expecting out of this Alistair.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think Jay Young getting active on the map early could be a really big key to success for Omega, not even just in this game, but perhaps for the entire series. So I would be really happy to see that. But and again for Elysium, it feels like that's kind of where they fell short last week. It was the TSI support, who I'm blanking on right now. My apologies. Hacks, of course, I
Yeah.
felt like was pretty active last week in that upper bracket final, being able to move around the map really nicely and help TSI get a lot of those early objectives. So Omega maybe looking to go for a similar game plan against Elysium, and we'll have to see if this time around if Arrow is going to be able to link up with Guster. We know they've been playing together for a long time, right? So they should have
Yeah.
that synergy to match the support roams from Jay if they do end up coming out. That's going to be a really big thing to look out for, I think, in this early game.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna give one last thing. Alistair also very, very good into Diana, right? She triggers Moonfall.
Yeah.
You're able to punt her away from your team to save them. Another reason why I think it's a great last pick. I think these teams are really interesting. I think the Elysium team, I would say, like scales better overall, right? That they have a real front line. I think Omega's kind of worry is that they don't have a real front line. They don't have the dedicated tank. They have two fighters in the Ambessa and the Wukong, and then the kind of off tank is the support and Alistair, who generally doesn't get enough gold to really prolong, fight as a frontliner. Unbreakable Will does help with that, but is kind of that thing of only every minute or so, your Alistair can be the frontliner for your team. So I think Elysium is going to scale better, but I think Omega's comp together makes a lot of sense. It's the pick somebody off and blow them up that, if this team had a Viego on it, we'd be singing their praises immensely, right? That they have so much pick potential for those individual things. So I think it's going to be very much Elysium trying to play for the kind of Sivir Deathball run at you. Omega is going to be trying to skirmish more, and I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of fights over at these grubs.
Yeah, yeah. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of that game one draft that we did see last week, where it was
Yeah,
TSI on the blue side and Elysium on red, where Elysium were taking all of these skirmish champions. I'm pretty sure they had the Wukong in that game on
yeah,
red
and the
side.
Lucian Braum for Dilly and Arrow.
Yeah, yeah, but of course, Elysium were not able to make it happen with that composition that was very similar to what Omega have now. And I do recall also, Storm, that you were predicting that red side composition to win that game number one last week.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts this time around?
I I'm really hesitant on this one because I'm not sure where the Victor fits into this comp.
Hmm.
That's the one thing for me that I don't like as the Victor blind into this Syndra for Omega, and that's why I'm gonna give it to Elysium overall. While I do think there is a lot of utility in things for Omega, I really think this team is going to struggle to kill Cassante. If CZI is able to just get in front of this team and just run at Omega with Sivir, I don't know what Omega does. I don't know what their recourse is to that action, right? It's can you try and kite him with Ash or something like that? It's like, is there the ability to jump onto the backline flanks? But I don't see a way for this team to tank bust through this Cassante, and with especially with Braum as well being able to act as anti-dive tools. That's my major worry for Omega is I don't think they have enough damage drafted on this team unless this game goes like super late and we see Saren on this Victor get to 4 items. So I'm giving this to Elysium.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Dilly and Arrow on the Sivir and the Syndra this time around have been really strong carries for Elysium this season. They have the front line to work with in this game. But Omega, a lot of tools at their disposal as well. We're saying that maybe the Victor doesn't quite fit in with what we would most likely identify as, a pick comp, at least in this situation against what Elysium have. But definitely if it does go late, then like you were just saying, Omega are going to have a lot of damage as well. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Game number one, we'll be right back.
And they say I have a grim sense of humor.
All right, folks, here we go. On to the Rift for our first game in the lower bracket final. Elysium on the blue side to start us off, and Omega on red. Both sides with some very strong team fighting elements, but we're given a slight scaling edge to Elysium if this does end up going late. Omega moving in as 5 into the line brush towards the bot side. Nubly spotted.
Yeah, I think that was really, really big. I think Watercat might have walked into that bush otherwise, and there could have been a chance there, but looks like it's just going to be the trade of, just one rock back now.
Now it's Elysium going to be able to tag Caxi with the Winter's Bite. And some ricochet damage coming out there from Dilly as well. Nothing really too consequential.
Yeah. I think that was 2 mana flow pan packs for Aquafelis or Watercat there, so that's pretty big. But nothing real of consequence happening so far. But yeah.
And I'd completely forgotten. We were talking about Jay Young during our draft conversation, but as you can see, folks, we do have Nubly here in the support position for Omega for this first game. Do we know if Jay is going to be here for the later games in the series today, or is it going to be Nubly all the way through? Are we aware? Just game 1, I'm hearing, for Nubly. So we'll see how the Omega sub is going to perform for them in this very, very important match. Interesting position in the back brush there.
Yeah, kind of weird that not trying to seize prio at all, that we're just letting Sivir push into us, but that's whatever. We see both junglers have started on the top side of the map and are going to be looking to path their way bot side. Caxie's on these Krugs. We see Diana on the Gromp. Diana should clear much faster than this Wukong, so should be in time for this bottom scuttle. And I'm guessing with Sivir having the push that they should be able to fight for that early. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Omega decide that that is something that they want to fight for, or if it's just going to be a scuttle trade.
Absolutely. So again, it feels like with both of these compositions, both sides are going to be relatively happy to go late. There is the stronger front line for Elysium. I think that's kind of the main reason why we're favoring them in that scaling department, right? Is the team fighting should be a little bit easier for them to execute in that regard later on. But definitely some strong scaling elements for Omega as well. So wouldn't be too surprised to see them just, give over some early prio and maybe not be so worried about fighting over scuttle crabs and things like that. But we'll see. A little bit faster on the clear, Augusta is as well. Diana is just so very quick at blitzing through that jungle.
Yeah, Riot keeps buffing Diana jungle. I'm kind of amazed that it hasn't been started being picked in prio. I mean, we can see that Saren went toward the enemy raptors and went, what? These are gone already? What's happening? So kind of have an idea probably that Diana is towards these Krugs here, but they didn't really see her start. I'm unsure if that ward covered the initial from level 1 saw her when she was clearing those chickens.
I think so.
Yeah.
And Gustra, as we can see, first into the river. So no fight opportunity going to present itself for Omega, and Gustra can have a really nice double crab opportunity. As Caxi, of course, has been spotted as he cleared out that ward in the tri-brush. So Gustra, full information, going to transition straight into that top side river.
Don't think there's really anything topside that you can look for. I mean, CZI does have some CC that you can try and look for a gank, but I think it's much better as Guster here to just take your reset, get your camp cycling, get those items in your inventory.
Yeah, I would have been kind of happy to see, for Diana in particular, a champion that does farm so quickly, would have been kind of happy to see Guster actually start on the Wolves, right? To actually get those smaller camps respawning even faster, and could have had an even nicer first recall here. It would have been able to clear the Wolves and the Gromp the second time before the first reset, but not a big deal. Gonna be able to get the Faded Ashes, the Burn Urn, and is back out onto the Gromp now. Caxi also with his first reset. Double longsword there for the Wukong.
One thing I do want to mention is Saren has already burned their teleport here in this mid lane, whereas Watercat has not, and Watercat's still sitting on like full mana and everything like that, so seems to be doing very well in this matchup. Not something we've seen a lot of, and not something I'm really anticipating there's going to be a lot of action here. I was kind of thinking this series that we were going to see less of these control mages and more this kind of like weird stuff, but these are kind of the safe game 1 blind picks, I guess, that have come out.
Yeah. I am really hoping to see the Fizz come out for Saren again this
Yeah.
week. He did play it last week in their win over Dorado. He played it in game 2. It went 10-3 and 8. So maybe later on in the series we will be treated to that one. But yeah, just the control mages for now. And does make sense for those game ones that you were just talking about. First Dragon on the river. Now you have Cloud. You start us off in game number 1. Guster. I'll start starting this one up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
An interesting call. You have been spotted, right? Ash with that hawk shot saw him on his raptors. So the enemy team knows Diana's on the bot side of the map, and I'm guessing Caxi has to clear this and look towards this dragon. You'd have to think.
Yeah, I mean, this bot wave is getting pushed out for Elysium, and Wukong not level 6 just yet. So, and Guster,
oh my god,
Dragon as well. He does it so quickly. It's already gone. Caxi moving into the river now, but nothing really to find for Omega.
Wow. All right, that's a pretty big win, right? Cloud Drake is one of the best early dragons you can get in the game because it just means your entire team doesn't need to buy boots for a while, right? It just means you get to lane fast enough with like waves coming in that you don't need to upgrade immediately. So I think that's a really big win. Movement speed is just kind of the stat that is the best in the entire game that Riot always can like do that number, right? That, you know, giving someone -5 movement speed is a surefire way to like make their win rate fall by a percentage. Here's a trade here. Yeah.
A Watercat holding on to the ultimate still. We do need to mention as well, while that dragon was being taken, Saren actually got the flash out from Watercat in the 1v1. So I mentioned that as well. And now Watercat without flash, gonna get headbutt in. Scatter is there though. The unleashed power for Watercat takes down the Victor. Nubly will be able to trade it back. 1-for-1 in the mid lane, but the kill onto the Syndra feels a lot nicer than a kill onto an Alistar. Guster also able to secure his own blue buff. A little bit of an XP advantage there in the jungle.
Yeah, and that was a flash and ignite burn for that Alistar. Wasn't able to quite get their combo off correctly, but was able to secure it.
Oh, now Guster gonna get denied on the moonfall as a decent headbutt does come out from Nubly, but doesn't have the unbreakable will and is just slated to go down as well. That's 2 kills now for Elysium.
Yeah, and this is that thing I was talking about. The Gus might be able to take over this game, you know, is on this Diana, this pick that is so incredibly strong, I feel, and has just alt power farmed so hard that they are going to be really, really far ahead. And if a Moonfall does land this game, I think it's going to be some absolutely massive damage. And Grubs have been started.
Execution available for the MS. Guster a little bit isolated at the moment. Does smite away the first grub. Caxi going in with the Cyclone, finds the knock upon it too. Guster getting chunked down low. And the ultimates will be enough to take down the Diana. Saren on the earlier roam over as well. Arrow forced to flash away the public execution there for first. Arrow surely going to be going down here in the top laner for Omega. Will take him. Feat of Warfare for Omega. And they're going to get 2 out of 3 grubs as well.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit of an overstep there. I feel like that was just something that you probably needed to just go down to your bot side and start clearing through these camps that are resetting. You know, we can see that all of your camps up are right now as Diana, and that's your job, is you're just supposed to tear through those, and then once those are down, you go for the fights after.
Maker for CZI going in. First gets tried to flash away. CZI in the 1v2 takes down the Ambassa. Caxi with a flash forward looking to finish off this Cassante. Needs one more Q. In fact, just the auto attack will do it. 1-for-1 in the top lane. Both top laners expending the flash. Caxi utilizing it as well to secure that kill, make it a 1-for-1. Aquafelis with the unleashed power available, but gets stunned on the gravity. Well, Saren flashes away from the dark sphere. The Chaos Room doing so much work, and it's Saren with the outplay in the mid lane. Omega starting to pull ahead. Guster, though, waiting off on the side, hoping to finish off this victory. He does go in, finds the reset on the E, but stunned.
Oh, he got stunned.
Another gravity well, and will be able to get his revenge, and even the emote for good measure. Very nicely played by the Victor.
Oh man, that was just Some really great movement there by Saren, being able to dodge out of both the...
Noobly stunned up by the concussive blows, does go for the unbreakable will, but now it's Madge in trouble as it's Arrow jumping forward. Madge forced to flash away. Noobly very nice
Hunt
double
under the
pull right
tower.
now. Hunts Dilly underneath the tower, and that's going to be a kill for Omega and the 2v2. Arrow now trying to get away. Madge is out of mana and already used the ultimate as well, so the Braum will escape, but Noobly, really nice setup there. The sub-support definitely making a big impact in this game already.
Oh man, just so much to talk about. That was really great play by both sides. I liked that play from Dilly and Arrow that Alistar's popped ult. Let's stop hitting that guy. Let's immediately get onto Maj. But I think the flash was a little bit too aggressive. It just meant that there was that opportunity for, you know, the punt into the tower that Noobly was able to get off. Oh, sec to take a breather. Oh, maybe not. There's top lane fighting going on.
I'm the play-by-play. I'm the one who needs the breather. Perspicacious chunked down to about half. CCI on this Cassante really is a force of nature. And so far, I gotta say, I mean, Elysium, I feel like CCI and Guster in particular have been playing pretty well so far this game. Guster a little bit greedy to go for the grubs, as we already discussed. This game's still relatively close overall. As Noobly looking for another play. Guster gonna get spotted out. The headbutt pull is there. Caxi,
Look at how low Caxi is.
Cyclone
He's
actually
dead,
for
isn't he?
now. He is extremely low, but the ultimate gonna be enough to get him out to safety. They were a solo kill in the top lane. CZI continuing to perform extremely well on that Cassante. And does have the teleport as well, and the ultimate still also, if he wants to come down for this. Dragon started up for Elysium.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely right. He did indeed use the ultimate. Dragon down to about 2,000. And Caxi waiting on the blast cone is going to use it to get into the river. Tourist Might Fight is actually, they're going for the team fight. Dilly engaged on and gets taken down. The Dragon does go over to Elysium, but they are losing out heavily in the fight. It's 2 kills over to Omega, and they're up now 2,000. Oh, a scatter connecting though onto Caxi. Face checks the Syndra, and that's going to be Watercat with his second.
Okay, so what did we get out of that? That is these 2 dragons now secured for the side of Elysium, which means that they're able to take this game later if they so choose, if they want to, you know, slow down the pace and the tempo. A whole bunch of kills picked up. That is a lot of gold now onto various members on the side of Omega. We can see, you know, there's the... Oh, hold that thought. Ash is gliding.
Have the unbreakable and a stun back onto Noobly. Both supports taking a little bit of a beating, but Arrow certainly worse for wear, sitting on only 200 health at the moment. Able to continue farming up comfortably for now. Lead in that 80 carry position for Madge.
Yeah. And something else to note, it is an Infernal Dragon this game, which is fantastic, I think, for both sides. You know, Infernal, I would say, definitely feels like one of the strongest souls in the game, probably second just to Hextech. Just gives you so much burst, but I think the Cinders really make Hextech a really interesting side of the map, just because you are able to get so much of the ability haste that you normally don't. Here's a big play
for a
from
play here.
Taxi.
ZZI looking to isolate a target. Guster right behind him, hoping to follow up on this one. The knockback does come through on the Perspication. The MS has so many dashes with the scatter connecting onto Caxi. He tries to re-engage. He's so low. The Cyclone, he flashes away. Caxi barely survives. The arrow is going to connect just to make sure the jungler can get out to safety. Very close call there in the top lane. Elysium almost able to get another one, but not quite.
Yeah, and Noobly is here to cover his jungler as well, who can heal up off of these chickens. I still think that's a ridiculous amount of sustain that the jungle pet gives you, but that's a talk for another time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Elysium, so, you know, last week, I remember they were, okay, another play towards the mid lane, arrow jumping forward, not able to find the Winter's Bite. Elysium last week, not really too much of a focus on those early neutrals. Definitely they are securing a lot of those this time around, up to 2-1 right now in terms of those neutral objectives, with another dragon spawning in a couple of minutes, but they are, you know, losing out in these fights. Oh, flash forward, Saren, the power is unleashed, and Watercat finds the angle. A few stacks on that ring, and the Syndra already a big threat.
Yep. Get outplayed, Saren. Get art on.
Yeah. Both mid laners flashing there. Definitely feels bad for Saren.
Okay. So big strength points for both teams, right? It's definitely Aquafelis in this mid lane. I think it's safe to say that Maj is a point of strength as well. Has this Kraken Slayer done on the Ashe, building towards whatever their attack speed item is, whether that's going to be the Phantom Dancer that we sometimes see, maybe it's the Runon's Hurricane as well, unsure, but it's going to be a dagger component, so it is some sort of Zeal item.
Yeah, definitely. We are seeing the Rift Herald being taken right now by Omega on this top side. No Maj needed. Guster is also on the bottom side of the map. Arrow taking a lot of damage. Forced to flash away. Guster is
flash
here.
forward.
Trying to counter-engage. The Glacial Fisher does come out because they're not going to Maj. And in goes the Diana. Finds the Moonfall onto the Ashe. And it's going to be Maj taking down a double kill for Dilly. And Elysium finding a huge fight in the bot lane, but a Herald charge into the mid-tier 1. They're able to take down that turret. Aquafelis forced to retreat. Saren hopping on board. Going to be able to get this collision onto the Syndra as well as the tier 2 tower. The Cyclone is enough, and Saren able to pick up a kill. Knocks off those stacks for Aquafelis. And Omega with a quick return kill.
Yeah, and I do also want to call out that was Feats going over.
In trouble. The public execution is going to give him the unstoppable and manages to get away from the Cassante.
Yep, that's how that kind of interaction works with the all-out, is that you want to be doing it second after, but CZI just a little bit closer on that. Didn't quite buffer it properly, and that would have been another solo kill, which is really frightening to see for Purse, who should be winning out in this matchup. Doesn't quite have their Black Cleaver done. Should give them a little bit of opportunity to cut through some of this armor now for CZI once that's finished. But
all right,
Dragon spawned.
Alive. Yeah, would be soul point for Elysium if they can get it, but currently river control for Omega. You see Elysium moving into the line brush. They're going to find the scatter on Nubly. The Alistar going to be forced to flash away very early, and actually doesn't quite have the ultimate available. Nubly going to need a reset here. Elysium, can they rush down this dragon? We see Saren has this bot wave fully pushed in and is going to be able to join up with Perspicacious for a pretty nice flank position. As Guster will start up the objective. Maj is going to get some prio in mid, but again, Diana does take these so quickly, and Caxi going to be pushed away from the river. Looks like the Wukong will not be able to get in time. Dragon getting rushed down. Guster should be able to finish this one off. They will get their third dragon. Yes, CZI doing a great job, and Saren isolated on the side. They jump on top of the Victor and take him down. Elysium, the battle line's drawn beautifully. Dilly has to be a little bit careful, able to get back behind the front line. And a kill for Perspicacious as well. Watercat looking for the scatter here. Caxi with the Warrior Trickster to create the distance. Nubly maybe gonna have to be sacrificed. Does have the Unbreakable Will to try and get away, but there's just too much damage. Does have the headbutt onto Guster, but Dilly is going to be able to run him down. That's going to be the Dragon plus 3 kills for Elysium as they do take the gold lead.
Yeah, and notably, a lot of those kills went on to Dilly now, and is going to be accelerated and start getting, you know, that 400 CS Sivir win condition that's always kind of the joke. Oh,
actually going with the Cyclone. Arrow is going to get taken down with those slows from the Ashe autos. Maj able to get his second of the game. So pretty nice angle there as Omega are able to defend their mid tower.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, 400 CS Sivir win condition. Probably slowing down, getting a little lower now that we've got picked up 4 kills. Now it's the 350 CS Sivir win condition. Just kind of always the joke of once Sivir hits 6 items, she basically wins every single team fight. Because she presses Ricochet in a team fight and it does 1,000 damage. Just an absolutely insane champion as the game scales later and later. But Maj as well, really potent right now with this kind of 2-item spike of the Kraken Slayer and the Phantom Dancer, just able to kind of glide and get onto people.
Looking for something on a Watercat here. The Chaos are coming down, and Saren made that look easy. Just sidestepped the scatter, and that was it. Very nice solo kill for the Omega mid laner. Gonna be able to get some solo turret gold off that bot tower as well. Guster, though, flashing in, finds the Moonfall onto 2. Nubly does go for the headbutt away, but Dilly is there to follow through on the damage. Nubly gonna get taken down here as well. Another double kill for the Sivir. Meanwhile, though, Saren and Caxi pushing hard in this bot lane. Looks like they will be able to secure this bot inner. So relatively even trade in terms of gold, but that Sivir getting even further accelerated. Definitely good news for Elysium.
Yeah. I mean, this mid lane tower going down here in the tier 1, I think is also a really, really big deal for the side of Elysium. Just means that they're able to start pushing in and getting some more deep wards. We can see that Omega has tons of stuff in the top side of the map so that they can find when Diana is going back to clear these things. And Atacon is on the top side of the map. I wonder if they're going to look for a dive here on Purse.
Yeah, they are looking for it indeed. The public execution connecting onto the Braum. Perspicacious dancing around is going to be able to clear out the minion wave, and now Elysium maybe in a little bit of a compromised position. They're going to pop the Sivir ultimate in retreat. CZI still pretty far forward, going to use the Pathmaker to join back up with the rest of the team. And now it's Omega with control over the Otacon pit, as it looks like they're going to start this one off, but Saren isolated once again, has to be a little bit careful. He's going to be able to back away, and now the engage onto Arrow. The Braum going to get taken down, and absolutely right, Watercat now channeling the teleport, and Guster not really able to make too much of an impact there either, although the Cyclone is now down. But 5v4 right now for Omega. This is very aggressive for Elysium. The fact that they're still on this Otacon right now. Guster's resistance is getting shredded. CZI trying to zone away the
just going to rejoin the team.
Yeah, Otacon continuing to get burned down by Guster. It's down to about 5,000. There's a nice scatter onto Saren. The unleashed power is enough as Aquafilas finds the kill. Looks like Otacon is going to reset as the patience does dissipate. Another nice scatter from Watercat. And the W over the wall, not quite enough to take down the Alistar, but now Omega have been pushed away. Caxi without the Cyclone, not really able to team fight effectively without their Victor, and it will be New Guy over to Elysium.
Yeah, and there's just a minute on this dragon as well, which is huge, giving you that kind of big injection of levels and AD with Atacon kind of spawning. You know, it is hard to keep track of those flowers as well, but it is a lot of AD and levels for your team. I would generally say killing him is worth about 1,500 gold. It's similar to a Baron in that just kind of short injection, and it gives your team that slow as well on kills, which means the Sivir run at you comp just got even better for the chase down.
This game, number one, has been incredibly competitive. You love to see it, but now Omega are on the ropes. Backs against the wall. They must deny this next dragon.
Yeah, and Purse is really far forward.
Yeah, he's going to be able to back away. Not going to be face-checking all of Elysium, and I don't know if they've spotted him. I don't think... Okay, now they will.
Oh,
CZI again doing a great job
and they just run
the
onto him.
Public execution, though, connects. Gets Perspicacious joined up with the rest of the team. The Sivir ultimate, though, there's so much value in the Moonfall as well. Guster does get headbutted away once again, but I think the damage may have already been done. CZI
Maj is getting stunned.
Scatter onto two, and Maj gets cut down by the Cassante. Still 5 alive for Elysium as another scatter. I think that's the third one just in this fight for Aquafilas. Saren, the last survivor. This game number one, I think, now secured for the defending champs.
Yeah, you gotta think with Soul now completed as well, everyone going to be able to reset and spend all of this money. I'm guessing it's going to be third item coming in here very soon for Watercat. You know, Diana so far ahead, it feels like, of Caxi, despite them being on similar items. That just seems like there's so much an advantage right now for the side of Elysium.
Yeah, it does feel overwhelming at this point. You know, we can see the gold is still relatively close, but that scoreboard is lying to you, folks, with the Dragon Soul and the Otacon as well. It is a massive advantage at this point for the blue side team. And now let's see if they're going to be able to close things out effectively. Baron's still not going to be joining us for another minute. You know, Elysium, for having such a strong scaling draft, they have been able to accelerate this game really nicely, just getting all of these objectives.
Yeah. And now we just got to see what Elysium can do. I had mentioned it, right? They have a lot of pick tools available to them. That is one thing that they have going for them towards this game. You know, CZI as well doesn't have all that much MR, so I think Saren should match up fairly well into the Cassante here.
Both of those players with their teleports available, as Baron now less than 30 seconds away. And if the first 25 minutes of this game have told us anything, it feels like Elysium are going to be looking to set that one up nice and early. Nice scatter over the wall onto Nubly. That's going to immediately get out the Unbreakable Will. And that is a big tool down as the Nash does spawn.
Yeah, I would really like to see Elysium take this top lane tier 1 here before they start dancing on this Baron. It just gives you so much more time and just cuts off the Omega resets here. It is kind of a free objective to me. You know, Watercat is there to defend your mid tier 2 from Maj and Caxi.
Yeah, so just like you were suggesting there, Elysium going to be able to take down that tier 1 in the top side. And, of course, the mid turrets of Elysium were actually taken by Omega earlier. So Watercat gonna play pretty far back, pretty respectful, as now the rest of the team, the rest of Elysium does rotate over. They look for an engage. Maj, a little bit far forward, does have to go for the ultimate very early. Another amazing scatter, but it's only onto a clone, actually. Nubly, though, will get taken down. So still a 5v4 now for Elysium. They did use the Sivir ultimate there, but they have everything else still to work with. Saren, isolated toward the top side, is now going to go for a reset, not going to overstay in the side lane. And there is a decent amount of vision over here for Omega, so they are fully aware that Elysium are now moving over, but the question is, can they do anything about it? Caxi does not have a ward in the pit, so he doesn't have information. Okay, now he's going to actually drop that control ward. Does have a blast cone to work with there as well. Caxi, we talked about it earlier.
There's no way he steals this again, right?
I mean, they've got
Okay,
Gus just going to go over the wall, going to look to kill off that Wukong, but the Cyclone is there. And now Watercat as well, looking to try and get something done, but it just gets taken down by the Chaos Storm. The blast cone will be denied. Caxi, oh no, Caxi, he doesn't get the flash into the, oh, the Nimbus strike. Oh, the smite though, it's good from Guster. Oh, that was really close actually.
Yeah.
The Baron does go to Elysium. Maj gonna be able to get a consolation mid-inner.
Okay, at least, hey, they got the Baron. They should be able to end the game with that now. It wasn't as disciplined as I would have liked to have seen. I feel like the rest of the team should have peeled off with, you know, Aquafelis and Guster onto the back line of the enemy team, not just kind of sit there hitting the Baron still and keeping it leashed for a potential steal. But it's whatever. They've got the Baron. It's the end result that matters at this point.
Yeah, you'd think that at least Arrow on the Braum could have like hopped over the wall and helped out a little bit there, but I think that overall Elysium definitely had the right idea in wanting to needing to deny Caxi entry into the pit, right? Despite the fact that they weren't actually able to accomplish that in the end.
Is
they definitely
gonna
knew
be
what
able
they
to
were
get out
trying to
here?
do.
There's a
he's
huge
dead.
collapse coming.
Yeah, he has a blast cone, but I don't think that's going to be enough. CZI is just like really struggling to take damage right now. Just ate that entire Chaos Storm and just didn't really care.
Huh. That's
Cassante, ladies
interesting.
and gentlemen. As oh dear, that's gonna be a spot out onto Aquafelis. So a trade of mid laners, I suppose. Nubly gonna be able to find him with the combo, and that is gonna be a kill over to Caxi. Meanwhile, Elysium did fully reset, so they're not really getting anything with the Baron right now.
Yeah, I really wanted to mention that, but this has been great for the side of Omega, just stalling this out. Like, it sucks that Saren went down, but nothing's come of it, right? Your main wave clear is now gone. Sure, it's a minute till Elder, but that's the point of having this Baron, is it just lets you push out and take advantage and force the enemy team to face check into you, and Elysium hasn't done that yet. They still don't have mid control. Maj is pushing it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's something else that I highlighted in Otter Talks. I feel like Omega is a team that is actually really proficient at playing from behind, as funny as that sounds. They really do a good job of
Caxi
themselves into games. A Winter's Bite not going to land. The Wukong does have to use the Cyclone, though. That is not going to be back for the Elder spawn. And it's going to be complete river control for Elysium.
Okay, and we're getting mid priority now. That's good. Ambessa is about to face check into a Cassante. That's not going to go well.
Yeah, the all-out over the wall. Perspicacious, just nowhere to go. Nothing to do with that one. Wanted to try to find a flank angle again, but gets spotted out by CZI once again. The Cassante 7-1-5 has just had such a monstrous impact, I feel like, in this game. Watercat, though, stunned up on the gravity. Well, hit by the arrow as well. That's another kill onto the Syndra, with the rest of Elysium so far ahead. The concussive blows, gonna get the stun onto Mash, and the long-range boomerang from Dilly takes down the Ashe. Another double kill over to that Elysium 80 carry, who's also having a phenomenal game number 1. Only Caxi and Saren alive.
And just the march down mid. I mean, they don't
no
have
Elder
Baron
necessary.
anymore. So that's a little worry. Saren does just kind of clear this with the gravity well, but he probably dies if he steps up. Okay. I don't know if they can take this.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay.
So, Caxi, again, gets the control ward down. Guster, you could kill that control ward if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But Caxi's going to spot it out
it.
as well as he moves in towards the tri-brush. And yeah, they are going to deny the vision in the end. Caxi not going to be able to get in. Elder goes over. But still the base unbroken for Omega as they continue to barely hang on in this game. Perst? Is Perst going to be all right here? Tagged by the Winter's Bite.
I don't
and the
think
Moonfall pulls the Ambessa back
Maj
in.
is here.
The blows are there. The Ambessa tries to flash away. The Glacial Fisher gets the knock-up. And there is the Elder Dragon coming down. Meanwhile, CZI, another solo kill in the side lane onto the Wukong this time around. And it looks like now the base will be broken as the inhibitor goes down. CZI, though, getting taken down by this Chaos Storm. The Blast Cone gets him away. Saren not able to finish the kill. CZI will survive, and Aquafilas already getting the push in that top side.
Yeah, and it's just 1.5 minutes now till this next Baron, which I hope Elysium is able to use to kind of end this game out. It feels like they probably should have ended already on this push here to me, but they're making sure to kind of cross their T's, dot their I's, making sure that they're doing everything by the book, getting everything correct, not making any unnecessary risks, which I can support as well.
Yeah, it does. It's a big match, right? It's playoffs, lower bracket final. This is for a chance for the trophies, so you don't want to be throwing away any big leads or anything like that. But definitely Elysium should have everything they need to close things out. Aquafilas is going to walk into an Ambessa, and there are reinforcements coming. Will they be in time to save the Syndra? The shield is there, an arrow, and Dilly going to take down Perspicacious. Aquafilas will survive. The top inner will not. And Baron spawning now in at 25.
Yeah, this hasn't been a great look for Persp. They have 3 kill participation on this Ambessa here in the top lane.
Yeah. To be fair, it hasn't really felt to me like Perspicacious is making any like massive mistakes. He definitely has been getting caught out isolated, but I feel like that's the kind of play that Ambessa should be looking for in this situation, right? You need to be creating a threat on an off angle. You can't just allow Elysium to set up the battle lines with their massive front line and just fight front to back. But ultimately, I feel like it's just CZI that's been having a night out so far. Oh, Caxi gets in there again! But once again, it is Guster. His smite is true. Secures the second Baron for Elysium, and now they should be able to push to end.
Yep. There's absolutely zero way that Omega can defend from this push. Unless there's like a fountain dive happening, you just ram your wallet down the throat. You have an 11k gold lead. There's the several run at these guys.
Baron and Persp isolated underneath the top inhibitor tower. Nubly trying to run forward to run some interference, but Wave coming in mid as well. So the Nexus turrets are going to take some damage from the Sivir. Dilly not interested in the enemy champions just yet, looking to take down those structures. Scatter landing onto the Alistar, already chunked down low. The Elder Dragon has dissipated, so Nubly will survive for now. But the Nexus turrets not going to be so lucky. As the Nexus now will be exposed. Saren desperately trying to clear out these minions. Guster dashes in, finds Mad with the Moonfall. And that should be it right there. Saren gonna get run down by the Sivir as well. Perspicacious trying to get on top of the Syndra. They do take down Aquafilas in the end. But that is the only thing that Omega will get as the Nexus falls. 34 minutes and Elysium take game number 1.
Yeah, that was a decisive win now for the side of this Elysium team. Just so much damage getting put through, and it was the whole game they were in control, right? That we were talking about again, that it's this skirmishing style that we're thinking like, oh, are they going to be able to get a lead early or something like that? And no, it was just all on Elysium the whole way through. This Diana pick from Gus ran the map early, got the first two dragons. You know, he had that one unfortunate spot at the grubs, and there was the herald that Caxi was able to get, which was able to secure his team feats, but that was pretty much the only lone bright spot for this team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do want to shout out Saren. I feel like he had a great game on the Victor. Did actually do the most damage in the game, did Saren, and had multiple solo kills as well. But ultimately, yeah, it was really Elysium righting the wrongs from last week, getting all those objectives, getting a very quick Dragon Soul, and just securing a pretty comfortable victory here in game number one. CZI as well. We felt like he had a really
Yeah.
kind of off performance, not meeting his own standards in that previous week, but oh, the Cassante was just an absolute menace in this one.
Yeah, I hate that champion. Riot, can you guys just like do something else to him? This rework feels even worse somehow than his previous form, which is saying something. I'm just tired of seeing this champion. Can we just put him back to a 40% win rate so I never have to see him again? I would appreciate it a lot. But MVPs, do you think it's Cassante? Do you think it's CZI? Do you think it's Guster on this Diana? Is it Dilly for going 10, 2, and 13?
Yeah, I'm thinking either CZI or Dilly are kind of my front runners, but Arrow had a pretty solid performance as well. The Braum
Yeah.
actually finding a couple of engages at a few moments in this game. It's not something we usually think of Braum as being good at, is actually engaging. The engage Braum, not often seen, but I felt like Arrow had some pretty nice ones. Tough call. Tough call.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go CZI gets it. I think he
Works for
he
me.
had he had a fantastic ADA, got a whole bunch of solo kills, ended the game 9-1-8,
Yeah.
and he blind
And I
picked
feel like
Cassante. So yeah.
yeah, for sure. And again, we were kind of Perspicacious definitely not having his greatest game in this first one on the Ambessa, but again, I really feel like that's in large part to CZI just being really diligent and watching those flank angles, marking the Ambessa, and making sure that Perspicacious just wasn't able to have that impact, wasn't able to find those angles onto the carries. So I like the CZI POG for this one for sure. Let's get into the break, guys. We'll be right back for Game 2 Champion Select. Okay, folks, welcome back. Getting underway now with Game 2 Champion Select. Looks like Omega electing to stay on the red side. Storm, your thoughts?
Uh, I generally am a red side gamer because I'm a top laner and I want top lane counter pick.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was forced to blind pick 2 games in a row in Diamond, and that felt terrible. Shout out to you, Mason. You made me look like an absolute ape.
Well, Omega did have the opportunity to counterpick top lane last game. They took the Ambessa into the Cassante, but didn't really end up working out for them. They did have the opportunity to counterpick and support as well, but that didn't really end up working out either. Do we have Jay Young back now for Omega? Can you confirm that, Mr. Wookie? It is still Noobly
Ooh.
for Omega. Okay, interesting. You know, I feel like the 2v2 was pretty good. The Alistar performance was actually pretty solid in the lane. I remember a couple of times where Noobly was able to turn around some
Oh
plays,
god,
but
we picked
enough
Smolder.
in the end. I mean, it's we saw a B1 Smolder come out last week as well. This is something that we have seen Dilly on
Yeah.
for sure.
No, I'm worried that this is going to be are they trying to? Are they? Oh wait, no wait. It's Omega who plays Seraphine Sona. Okay, never mind. It's saved. We're not seeing
Okay.
Seraphine Sona coming out. Hopefully, please don't do that.
Yeah, it was in their previous meeting between these two teams, actually, back in week 2. It was a 2-0 for Elysium, and Dilly played the Smolder in the first game of that series, was 9-3
Oh
and
no.
5. And there's the Seraphine. Pretty
Okay,
strong with
so
Jinzhou.
yep. Is also one of Watercat's better mid laners is the Seraphine. Very interesting that they play at mid. Seems to be one of the only people I know who plays mid lane Seraphine. Um, Supports seem to have claimed her, despite the fact that she is better in mid lane by like every metric, I'm pretty sure, and has been for like ever. And Riot keeps trying to buff her mid and nerf her support, and everyone just goes, "No, we'll take her in the support role instead." But gonna just lock in this team fighting stuff. Ornn now taking blind for Elysium. Um, Kind of weird to me with Mordekaiser still being available, which is kind of the classic counter pick to him. Other stuff
Yeah.
available as well. You know, the Singed. Not that we ever going to see that, but that's one of the
That's
real
spicy.
counters and things like that. But I think it's just going to be some sort of support here.
Whoa.
Oh, Zyra getting covered. It is locked. Um,
Okay. I mean, likely going to be the Zyra jungle there, I imagine, right?
yeah, I think so. I can't imagine that it's support Zyra blind. That seems absolutely insane. But
Would
you
be a
know,
weird pairing with a Smolder as well.
yeah, also is that possibility, you know, that if they do lock in this Sona and do the Seraphine Sona thing, you can play like Zyra bot and pick a mage as well. Like take Vel'Koz and run your Smolder mid lane. Instead,
Urgot.
Omega is gonna take Urgot top lane into Ornn. As
Yeah.
an Urgot aficionado, this matchup sucks.
Oh dear.
You do not want to play this because Ornn builds armor in lane against you and can build Warden's Mail or Bramble Vest super early, and then your W doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and the
So,
big breakpoint for Urgot is like level 9, right?
9, yeah,
And by that point, then Ornn is definitely going to have some armor. So,
yeah.
hmm.
It's Ornn is, or sorry, Urgot has like the strongest level 1 and 2, and his strongest level 1 in the game. His level 2 to 3 is absolutely miserable. It's bad. He has a spike at 6, and then he spikes really hard at 9, and then at 13. At
Okay.
9, you get the W unlocked of it's now the toggle if you've been ranking up your W properly, and you always have to basically. And then at 13, it's all of your leg cooldown starts getting low enough that basically you can run around in circles around people and they die.
Well, Ornn famously also has a pretty nice spike at level 13.
Yeah,
So we'll see how it goes. Definitely a pretty bold choice, I think, for Perspicacious, who does need a little bit of redemption after that game number 1.
yeah,
I don't think he had too many solo deaths. You know, that was something else we were hearing from Lesser on the podcast earlier, as he has a solo death counter, I believe it was, right?
yep.
I don't think Perspicacious had too many solo ones last game
He
necessarily.
had 3. CZI killed him 3 times.
Oh no, you're right. Actually, yeah, there were a couple of solo
Yeah,
kills. Yeah, no,
yeah.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
Uh,
We'll see how the Urgot goes.
is banned again away. Saren not allowed to have his fish.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Actually, gonna give that R5 pick over to Saren. So we're gonna wait to see what Watercat's gonna be piloting there on the side of Elysium as the Nautilus
yeah,
is gonna get paired up. So it's not gonna be. Oh, the Sona was also banned. Yeah. So it's gonna be
yeah.
Nautilus, and
Is
I guess they're
this?
holding the Seraphine Flex is what's happening
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this because I'm always a big thing. Vein angle
for
for
Omega.
Omega. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm a big
Hmm.
believer in that champion. I think it's probably terrible into a lot of things, especially into Leona, and the enemy team has a lot of stuff to kill you, but at the
Yeah.
same time, your team needs a tank killer. You still don't have one. So you have to pick a
Hmm.
real ADC. You have to pick some sort of hyper ADC, I feel, for Omega.
Or like, I mean, maybe they could go for like a Casio or something. Doesn't feel great
Uh,
here. Something to kill
yeah.
tanks. I'm definitely with you
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a really strong draft for Elysium. They did go for the Varus, so it looks like it will be the Smolder mid for Aquafelis. And the Zyra, the Ornn is such a heavily scaling topside. I mean, it does feel like a little bit of a greedy draft, but the Varus Leona
Yeah.
lane is going to be strong early, and they're going to go for the Jinx. Last
Yep.
pick on the side of Omega. So, I mean, Jinx definitely can get through tanks eventually. But feels like a little bit of a scary lane playing into the Varus Leona. I don't know.
Bro, I don't know. I feel like CZI is literally going to build like Thornmail Frozen Heart armor boots, and like it doesn't matter after that point. Like,
It's
how on
only
earth?
Seraphine is AP, yeah.
Yeah. How on earth is Omega going to get through that guy? And it's just like everyone on the team does that, right? Like, Leona just gets to build armor for free. Like, and Smolder gets a free lane into Seraphine. This does not seem like a winning success to me for Omega.
Yeah, it feels like they need to. It's gonna be down accuracy in this game. It's
Yeah.
like he needs to still know the early game, or they're just gonna find out. It feels like.
Yeah, and I don't know where Cassie goes either, right? Like, is it trying to? You can't gank mid lane, right? Seraphine doesn't offer you pretty much anything. There's a little bit of like CC with the root or something if you land a knock up, but like it's into Smolder. He's generally going to be like slippery enough with having his E and things.
Yeah.
Top lane seems like an absolute. I don't know. Maybe you try and gank there. Like Urgot is really good at confirming kills and stuff like that and things, but that's not to get you ahead. Um, and I feel like bot lane seems like an absolute misery to try and gank because that's where I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing the Zyra path down towards. She generally wants to start at blue, right? And that's another thing. Like, I feel like Zyra is that's one of her strengths as a jungler, right? Is her fantastic lure speed again, similar to this Diana. So I'm really worried for Omega. I don't know what the clear plan is. I don't see what it is. I think it's as Caxi, you got to do something weird. This is the level one where your team invades with like a 3-man that you look for an Urgot E flip into like Caxi to burn flash on someone. And that's who you pick. And you just go, I'm going to camp you and I'm going to make your life miserable and try and get yourself ahead. Because I don't know what lane you can play for that's going to like actually win you the game. I think a 3v3 bot is losing for the side of Omega if that's what ends up happening and that's where they go.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see a level 1. I mean, Omega do have the Nautilus as well to try to get at least that summoner spell like you were just talking about out at level 1 before minions spawn. That could be an angle, but even if they can't find anybody to target at level 1, I think I would really like to see an invade come out from Caxi this game. I think if you could slow down the Zyra and actually punish Guster, that could maybe be the angle. Because I agree with you, right? Like, these lanes are not easy to gank. We expect CZI and Watercat to play very safely in these lanes. They're
Yeah.
not going to be like pushing super aggressively or anything like that. Shouldn't really be exposing themselves to gank opportunities. And
Yeah.
the bot lane, the Varus and Leona, is so strong as well, especially, and I agree with you as well about the 3v3 not really going in Omega's favor down there. So I think you need to find the Zyra in the jungle and punish her. That's what I'm looking for Caxi to accomplish.
Yeah. And my other worry is Urgot is basically, unless you are very, very good at wave management, pretty much always auto pushes lanes, right? Because of his shotgun knees. When you're taking last hits, it forces you to push. So it's not like it's easy to set up a freeze onto this Ornn in the top lane as well to give Caxi this gank. And that's the only way I think you're able to kill this Ornn. If I'm being real as you, this is this thing where it's like you do the hidden Ornn tech where you go summon Airy and you start the lane with an armor and a refill potion and you just rush Bramble Vest, and it means whenever Urgot autos you, he just takes an Airy proc. And it just means he can never ever get you out of the lane. So I think I think this game is a horror for Omega. I think they're gonna get massacred. I think Elysium wins this game in under 30 minutes. That's my prediction.
Wow, under 30-minute win with Smolder Ornn?
Yeah.
That would be crazy. I mean, we did see, as soon as the Smolder and the Ornn got locked in, I was getting flashbacks to the draft that TSI played against Elysium last week, where they had that really heavily scaling draft, and they were able to snowball the early game, get all the objectives, and close it out relatively quickly. So maybe Elysium taking a page out of TSI's book here with this composition. Definitely, if they can win this game early with this draft and go up 2-0 in the series, we could just be looking at another 3-0 tonight.
Yeah. It's just one of those things of what does Omega have for the rest of the series, right? They're expending some of their own power picks, and a lot of the other things are getting banned away. I thought the Kog'Maw Milio that this team had been playing for Omega was really strong. The Seraphine Sona I thought was really good for them, and they've taken that away from themselves by picking Seraphine here and not taking the Sona with it on round 3. Their Perspicacious, I don't think, is ever getting allowed that's going to get banned round 1 for the rest of this series. And for whatever series he continues to play in, we saw it last week, and it was really, really strong in the Renekton, and it's just another reminder that they're never going to get it. So I don't know what Omega's got left in the tank as far as their own power picks, and it's gonna have to be somebody needs to step up this game.
It really feels like they didn't get that much value out of the red side either.
Yeah,
you know, they like kind of feels like they self counterpicked again, taking the Urgot into the Ornn and not going for the Seraphine Sona combo together like you were just talking about. Jinx on R5 is never something we're going to be really too thrilled about. So, yeah, choosing a red side feels like it didn't really work in their favor in this situation. And I definitely agree. We're going to need to see somebody on the side of Omega have a really insane carry performance, it feels like, in this game to get them on the board in this series and potentially tie things up 1-1. But going to be pretty difficult, it feels like. Like Elysium, they don't even need the early. I mean, if they get the early objectives, then great. And if they can snowball to an early win, then great. But they don't need to. Like, they could definitely have a slow early game and just kind of wait to scale later on. That could be very comfortable for them as well.
Yeah, I don't think we have very much left to say. I'm expecting a pretty decisive Elysium win. You're expecting the Elysium win not as decisively as me. Make sure to get your predictions in Twitch chat. I have spent 7,000 points on Elysium. If you want to get some points away from me and try and bet on Omega, go for it. Always gamble, guys. So much fun.
I know that you do love your Gamba Storm. Hopefully some folks will Gamba against you out there in chat. Would like to see some Omega believers. It would be cool to see a competitive series this evening. We'll see if they can give it to us right after the break. right, everybody, welcome back. Back on to Summoner's Rift for game number 2. Elysium, able to take that game number 1 pretty convincingly. Omega were able to land some punches, but ultimately never really able to get a foothold in the game. And that did break their winning streak as well. Remember, Storm, Omega were on a 6-game winning streak. They were 3-0, 3-0 in the lower bracket to get here. And it is a very momentum-based team. So hopefully that game 1 loss didn't do too much damage to the mental as they move in as 5 towards the tri-brush, looking for that level 1 spotted out.
Yeah, great ward there from Dilly. Just knowing that that's what they're going to do. You know, the enemy team has the Nautilus. They have Urgot as well, right? They're just going to 5-stack and look for something. And they're wrapping around this way now. Is this going to catch them? It is. They saw it. They have to run. They have to run. They have to run. Oh my god, they didn't.
Yet. The flash hook lands onto Watercat, and the flash follow-up is there from First, but that should be the first blood. It's going to be Saren that picks it up on the Seraphine, and Omega find their level 1 after all.
That's... Well, I mean, at least Watercat is the one with TP and is just able to TP back to this lane, kept his flash. That is 2 flashes burned. Or, I don't know, man. That's just, to me, a pretty egregious mistake. You saw them coming, right? That should just be, we start running as soon as we see that happen.
And clearly Elysium knew that there was going to be some kind of level 1. Like, they were aware that Omega were going to be looking for something. So, yeah, it feels like they should have reacted maybe a little bit more quickly there. And identified the fact that they for the side of Elysium, did not want to... Ooh, another hook and a land for Nubly, as Dilly going to be chunked down at level 1 here. So imagine Nubly going to have the early push.
Yeah, and they'd get level 2 here off this next minion dying. Dilly did miss some XP as well. He got zoned from the wave. So I think it's another CS or 2 before he's able to hit 2. I feel like Nubly should be trying to push this, but...
Yeah, could look a little bit more aggressively here. Does find the hook. There it is. And the Flame Chompers go down as well. Dilly in so much trouble. The Zenith Blade gonna get stopped with the Flame Chompers. Match flashing forward, but Dilly with the flash away will be able to survive. Arrow, though, also gonna be able to get back underneath the tower, but this Varus so low and still level 1 is Dilly. Oh man, we were expecting this Varus Leona lane to be really strong, but they are suffering so far in the 2v2.
Yeah, and I would hate to break it to everyone who also bet all their points on Elysium, but this is Poke Varus. We have Arcane Comet, and we have 5 CS at 3 minutes into the game. This is a horror show.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, so obviously a Poke Varus being behind in the early game is not great. But the decision to go Poke Varus, I think, does make some sense, considering the fact that you do have another 80 carry in the mid lane to do that consistent damage later on. So, you know, and again, Elysium, very heavily scaling draft. You know, despite the fact that they do find themselves in this early deficit, this game's far from over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's by no means over. CZI just waiting to catch this top wave here. We see Gus just flying through the jungle here on this Zyra. Was ready to take that. Yeah. Caxi, though, just going to look bot, and this wave is pushing out now for Dilly and Arrow.
Did they spot the Xin Zhao? I don't think they saw him, but clearly they're aware of this possibility. They know that he should be here on the bot side of the map. Dilly still only level 2 on that Varus. That is painful. Oh, walking off. Here comes Caxi now. The dredge line not going to land this time around. Nubly doesn't have the flash to close the distance either, but Caxi does. The Flame Chomper's coming down once again, and Dilly is going to get taken down now. Match with the passive, but Arrow, hit by the zap. The wind does not become lightning, though. The Leona will survive, but Dilly just getting punished in this early game.
Yeah, that tier buy is very much how he is feeling. That's a sad Varus.
Oh no. Yeah, missing out on more golden experience here. At least it's a cannon wave. He's gonna be back for the cannon. But a very rough start right now for the Varus. At least Guster is starting to accelerate ahead of Caxi. You know, the fact that the Xin Zhao was a little bit slower on the clear and then also went for the gank down here in the bot lane does mean that Guster is significantly ahead in the jungle matchup.
Oh god, don't push this, Dilly. What are you doing? Okay. All right, CZI, I feel like we should be using our Ornn passive to buy armor. It's quite good.
Surely after this wave, he's going to have enough
Yeah.
to armor up.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
30
a little bit behind in the CS there, as I think you were about to mention. But
Yeah.
closes that differential significantly as he clears out that wave, able to collect most of that. Now teleport back to lane for Perspicacious. CZI still holding on to it as well. Could go for a base and a teleport back as well if you would like to. But just going to go ahead and use the Ornn passive to go ahead and purchase that Bramble Vest. So there is the armor. Did not go for the Aerie that you were highlighting, but does rush the Bramble Vest at least.
Yeah. For those of you wondering why at home, Urgot W counts as auto attacks for every single proc. That's why he rushes Black Cleaver basically into every single matchup imaginable, because he's able to stack it so incredibly quickly. It doesn't actually work with like proper on-hit effects, which is weird, but it counts as instances of auto for things like Rock Solid passive, which is what Warden's Mail gives you, or the chip damage from this Bramble Vest. So it's like something that we can see and like take a look at.
Engage,
Oh,
Arrow not able to find the
God.
Zenith Blade. Guster has snuck into the lane here. They do not know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but Zinzan's on Dragon, right? Like, okay, do we just collapse? We have mid push, don't we? From
no,
Smolder?
I think we just give this dragon. We have
Yeah.
Smolder Ornn. I think we're just going to give the first dragon. I think it's fine.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, well, we're going to fight the dragon then.
Yeah.
Arrow and Guster thinking about moving in here.
Okay, Gus, what are
gone.
we doing? Yeah, it's just
for sure
gone.
gone.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
completely fine.
whatever. Okay, we got our bot lane to shove a wave in, which is really big. That's a win, I guess.
Yeah. Dilly,
Okay.
you know, considering how disastrous that early game was, only down a couple of minion waves, it's not the end of the world. And now we're going to have a reset for Guster up towards that top side. Going to have level 6 pretty soon. And Grub's in 30 seconds. I imagine that could be an angle for Elysium to fight that objective. We'll see if the Watercat's going to be able to get the push here in mid lane. Saren is currently with the priority. Wave will bounce.
You can see Smolder was on like 60-ish stacks.
Okay, not bad.
That's not bad, not great, but, you know, on pace, I think is fair to say.
I think so. We do see Caxi now moving into the river. Scuttle Crab available. Both junglers going to have their ultimate abilities up and ready. And Perspicacious
Gus is
can be able to get the top prio, moves in. Saren still with mid control as well. Guster has to be really careful here. Caxi. Oh, the Scuttle Crab. Caxi, oh no, Guster got the crab.
Guster got it.
All right.
With an E.
Information for Elysium. Is that going to be enough to get them towards this objective? Caxi definitely not feeling comfortable to start it up.
Yeah,
Saren
I
needs
feel
to
like
reset.
you're just trying to get one here, right? If you're Guster, and I think he has not claimed one yet. Just pulled them out. Yeah. Just gonna decide to clear his bot side camps. That's probably just as fair. Has a lot of gold standing on the map currently as the Syra.
Yeah.
Yummy flower.
Definitely losing out
There
on
we go.
both of the early neutrals does feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
Caxi kind of going to move back in. I think he was maybe expecting Guster to start those up, but not going to find any Zyras in the river or anywhere nearby. And now Caxi charging towards those Void Grubs. Still with priority in both solo lanes. So it looks like it will just be those two early neutrals for Omega. A very nice early game here so far.
Yeah. Just gonna have to see. I really feel like these team fights are just gonna come down to if Perspicacious is able to land kind of this ult and get a kill going. That Maj, I think, needs to get excited to be able to be in this game.
No.
But we'll see how much plates this Grubs are able to give. Again, I was talking about Urgot W, so weird of an ability. Means that his W procs the dot damage from Grubs like every second when he autos with it. So can really do a whole bunch of damage early on. Oh, Gus getting caught by the zap.
Find Gus, sidestep on the grasping roots, I believe is the E.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't
the
have
Zyra
smite.
will be denied the Gromp.
Yeah.
Dredgeline not going to land there for
really
Noobly.
far.
Yeah, Varus was still returning to lane there, so would have potentially been very dangerous for the side of Elysium if that hook had landed for the Nautilus. But not going to be the case this time around. Caxi slowly moving over. Chain of Corruption going to miss for Dilly. I think the Varus may be expecting Nautilus to be landing that last dredge line.
Yeah.
And use the ultimate anticipating that. But in the end, both abilities will miss.
I just want to point this out because I just noticed. Does Saren have Conquer on mid lane?
He sure does.
Yeah, that
that's
can't
pretty
be
unusual.
correct. Can it?
I'm a bit unsure about that one as well. Yeah, I think normally you would probably want like either Comet or Airy, right?
Yeah. Huh.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he is the only AP threat, right? So anything that he can do to amplify his own damage, could theoretically be beneficial. Stacking it, I do anticipate to be pretty difficult, though.
Yeah. Are seeing that there is quite a lead still here. Oh, CZI going in.
CZI. Perspicacious taking a lot
I think
of damage.
That was a kill
but,
if he just ulted him.
Maybe.
Because Persp can't auto him back, right? That's the Thorn. If we can check, how much damage is this Bramble Vest done?
Oh, CZI, is he going to find him in the bush? No, the recall will complete.
Just 160. Okay.
Too crazy
That's
just yet. Teleport back now for the Urgot. CZI
Yep.
going to see that coming. Backs away.
Cleaver finished as well. All right, that's no TP now top lane, so Urgot cannot join this fight, and this could be the 4v4. I don't know if they have the time. Oh no, Dilly.
Line onto Dilly. He does manage to flash over. The Death Charge will follow with the root from the Zyra, and the Stranglethorn's not going to find a 3. Gets the Varus out to safety. Those are big tools down now. I think Elysium not really going to be able to fight this. Although all ultimates used for Omega as well. But they just have so much control over the area. They are going to get their second dragon. That is going to be the feat of monster slaying, and they are 1 kill away now from feats of strength for the side of Omega.
And it's just, what are they able to get now, right? Gus has been farming up and has, this 10 CS lead, but hasn't translated anything, hasn't been able to kind of push into the enemy base, and we do see this gank here coming in on the Watercat.
Oh, yeah, Watercat going to be in a lot of trouble here. The dredge line, somehow not going to land, and Saren is extremely low, but Caxi now dashing forward. There is the flash out for the Smolder. And so they will get the Summoner spell. A relatively successful gank for Omega there in the mid lane.
Was the burn
finds the knock-up.
Yeah, that was heal burn from Noobly there for Saren to try and make sure that Seraphine did stick around and live as well. So that won't be available for any bot lane play.
How do you feel about Saren going for the Archangels first? Complete. Oh, Guster. Oh, the Flash Disdain. Not going to land for Perspication. Is going to get blocked up by the Grasping Roots. The Call of Forge got knocked up on the 2 as well. Caxi trying to come in to reinforce. W Flash. Beautifully played by the Omega Jungler. And CZI all out of mana. Nothing more that the Ornn can do. That is feats of strength for Omega. On the roam as well. CZI going to have to vacate the area. Yeah. Even more golds as Omega start to accelerate.
I mean, this is how Omega wins this game, is by being so much stronger and being able to utilize their wallet. I mean, this is quite a significant lead here in the top lane, right? That CZI, I'm pretty sure, is down this 25 CS. It's the full tower now as well. Like, that's a
rude. The Nautilus. Decent damage, but this Varus is so far behind. Noobly has taken about half of his health bar. There's another piercing arrow is going to come through, and Leona has so much CC. It looks like they will eventually get this kill. The hail of arrows takes down the Nautilus. Arrow flashes away, doesn't take the turret shot. Maj, though, flashes away from that arrow and turns it back around onto Dilly. Picks up his first kill of the game and a 1-for-1 in bot. Saren teleported, or just walked down here, actually. Not going to be able to chase down arrow. Mid lane, we do have Caxi here to clear out the minion wave. So Watercat not going to get too much done here either. The Smolder is up to 150 stacks, so it's maintaining a pretty decent pace.
Yep. Just going to be the case of, can Watercat play in these team fights, right? Is he going to actually be able to auto attack and things like that? Redemption, come down.
Card, W going to land. Guster here to play some defense, but Caxi charges forward, takes down the Smolder. Caxi having a great game on this Jin Zhao, continuing to help Omega snowball this early lead. Herald now available for their taking as well.
Yeah, that's another really big thing. I mean, this mid lane tower, if it goes down for the side of Elysium, I really don't know if they're going to be able to stem the bleeding. This is so important for them, and this Herald should give them the opportunity to do it. It will coincide with third dragon spawning as well. It is an cloud dragon as well, which is so disgusting with these champions as well, right? With Seraphine, Nautilus really loves it. I mean, Caxi probably loves it as well. Purse loves it, just is able to give you that movement speed to get some more shotgun legs going.
Elysium really starting to feel the pressure now. They are behind by a little over 3,000 golds. Reset coming through here for Madge. Gonna be in time for the Dragon. Gets the upgraded boots. And it does feel like Elysium, I think they have to make a stand at this next Dragon, and given over Soul Point when you're already this far behind, I feel like that would be very, very difficult to come back from.
Yeah, but they're so far behind. They don't have like anything completed, right? CZI is just sitting on all the armor components. It's just, I don't know why he's still building a Sunfire Cape, bro. You're already building Thorn Mail and a Warden's Mail item. You do not need Sunfire as well, but it's just Watercat's only on this like one item and has his BF sword. Like, there's components just on your ADC as well. I do not think you can fight this. I think this is one of those cases that you just need to try and trade for towers and just cross map.
Isolated in the bot lane right now. Slow not going to land, though. The Seraphine gets back underneath the tower. Control over the pit right now for Omega, but they are a little bit split up at the moment. They're in.
CZI's here.
Away from the solar flare. CZI has
They just got to snap. They just got to do it right now.
Have the teleport. Herald summoned up. It's going to be pressuring mid, and yeah, Elysium, they must start up this objective. They are losing a lot. Oh, Perspicacious now with the teleport in. Going to be an honest 5v5 in the river. V-Drop get a root only onto the Ornn, but the Dredge line pulling it back in as well. And CZI, she can get pulled in. Perspicacious with a Fear Beyond Death takes him down, but a lot of damage coming back out from the side of Elysium as well. Some low health bars. Caxi charging forward. Fearlessly. Watercat gonna get taken down as Saren gets the kill. A double kill in fact for the Seraphine. Dilly at least gets one back with a piercing arrow. But Omega with a man advantage. They take down the Leona there as well. It's only Guster and Dilly left. There are still some low health bars. It is Poke Ferris. Guster with the smite. Can he just cheekily walk up to smite it away? No, he can't. The Dragon does go over, and now Caxi gets on top of the Zyra. It's going to be Guster taken down as well as Dilly. And Omega get the objective and complete the ace.
Yeah, that was just the case of CZI waited too long. The rest of his team wasn't ready, but it was just the thing of you need to engage before you get engaged on, because you are not tanky enough at this point in the game to be able to stand in front of that enemy team. And yeah, the Ornn just got exploded, which gave Maj the ability to run forward, getting excited, Seraphine the ability to go forward. The rest of the damage was good, yes, from Elysium, but it's just the worry of, have Omega been able to scale this game fast enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have. Caxi has been having a great performance on this Jin Zhao. Saren as well on the Seraphine has been really solid in all of these skirmishes. And Nubly as well on the Nautilus, been landing a lot of great hooks. You know, there was initially, I believe, the CC that came down on the CZI, I think was from the Nautilus, was it not?
It was, yeah. It was an initial hook in into the ult knock up when it was channeled onto Watercat, I believe the dredge line was. But yeah, there's just a lot of people getting really ahead in levels. We see Guster Posey on the Zyra's behind of Xin Zhao in levels.
Wow.
You know, there's still this level lead for Maj over Dilly. who's just been so far behind, and I don't really know anymore
Look at
what this team can do.
Right at 20 minutes, they're starting up the Otacon. They know that they are in such a good place right now in this game. They're so much stronger in the fights. They can feel it. Guster has the flash. I mean, like a desperate steal attempt, maybe. CCI going to call up on the forward grab, but the Otacon already gone. And Arrow right in the middle of the team is going to get taken down. Mom does come down, but
just
Caxi
charging
in the back line, getting on top, but he can't quite finish off Guster. Caxi will fall, and Smolder with the stacks. Watercat takes down the Nautilus, flashback into a piercing arrow as Dilly finishes off Maj. The Otacon does go over, but the team fight not really going that smoothly for Omega. Elysium, they have their Smolder stacked now.
He just bought Infinity Edge and a pickaxe from a BF sword. Oh my god. Watercat might be able to save this one. I don't know if you're going to get a ult that was as good as that was for CZI the rest of the game, but that's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you were talking about in the last fight, right? Like the Ornn in particular, it needs to be proactive about setting up these engages, because if you're getting engaged on first and you get burst down and you allow the Jinx to get that passive going, then the fight gets so much harder. So CZI and Arrow, honestly, both playing that fight really well to get the CC down, make it difficult for Omega to counter-engage. Obviously, the fact that the Omega resistances were shredded by the Otacon as well. I think that was helping out Elysium in the fight also. But the Dragon still has to be a big worry for the side of Elysium. They are definitely not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
Arrow
just...
looking for an engage here in mid lane. But maybe a little bit too far forward as the Leona. Nubly does find the direct line onto Guster. And both sides with a chain of corruption actually connecting there onto the Nautilus, but the team not able to follow up. So...
yeah, I mean... the strength of this team right now is Smolder, right? And Smolder's clearing sideways. He's not part of this right now. I don't like Guster and them going for this play without Watercat here.
Oh, Watercat has joined back up now.
Yeah.
Fighting for control over the Raptor bush. So Elysium able to take their claim control ward.
Yeah, but they're just, look at the, like, even the Jinx ult just to chunk Watercat out, like...
still 50 seconds until the Dragon.
Yeah, but look at the amount of vision that Omega is getting in this bot lane brush. I don't know what they can do. I really do not think, also, by the way, that Perst should come to this fight. He should just split top lane. Oh, CZI's calling the horn.
Yeah, call the Forge. Got to find the knock-up on it, too. But the Encore, amazing from Saren, gets the entire team. And now the damage coming out. Look at the AoE from the Jinx rockets. Maj barely survives that piercing arrow from Dilly. Watercat and the Varus are still alive, but there's nothing they can do. The mid-inner gonna get taken down. Dragon gonna be available for Omega whenever they would like to go towards it. And now this game does feel like it is out of Elysium's hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's now reliant on the enemy team throwing something, because, man, I don't know what they're going to be able to do about these Seraphine ults. Saren has just noticed that the enemy team has to stand kind of on top of each other, right? And is just able to land these multi-man ults. And with how ahead he is on this Seraphine, please buy a book, Saren. You know you want to. You're 6-0-6.
Oh, it's solo AP as well. Yeah, I think you got to. He has been having a great performance on this pick. And we were talking earlier about how it's a denial, right? It's something that we've seen Watercat play multiple times this season. And Omega, a little bit of a gambit, taking the Seraphine very early on in the draft, and it is absolutely working out for him.
I am disappointed. They did the smart choice and bought a Needless and upgraded their boots instead of getting this, but this is at least another objective bounty going over, which is somewhat big, but I don't think they get anything else during this minute while the bounties are on the map, so it's not going to be any sort of huge gold injection back. And look at this gold lead, man. It's 4 dragons and Otacon, and you're up 5k gold, and it's 25 minutes. Like, there is so much gold sitting on the side of Omega right now.
Oh yeah, they are in complete control over this game.
Yeah.
And just looking to see if they can close it out cleanly here. Baron just now spawning. And Omega going to turn their attention towards it. There is a ward in that banana brush. So Elysium do see Persp and Caxi right now. Can they do anything about it? Solar Flare does come down onto the Urgot, but he buffers the Disdain beautifully. Gets away from that follow-up engage. Now Arrow not going to have that ultimate available. Chain of Corruption used there by Dilly as well.
Yeah, and I feel like those are your only real tools to try and get any sort of pick, is that Chain of Corruption and the Sunlight, or is that what it's called? Leona's ult?
Solar Flare. Sunlight
Solar
is the
Flare. Ah, okay.
Well, for now, it's going to be the tier 2 in top lane that is the target for Omega to even extend that gold lead even further. Up to 6k now. And now they will move back towards the river.
Yeah. I feel like this might just be one of those things. You can just wait a little bit longer until you get 16 on Seraphine and your solo lanes. That's such a huge spike, but at the same time, this Baron looks pretty free.
They've got it down to about half as Elysium start to move in. Arrow on the front lines, depth charge onto the Smolder. Watercat have to play so far back here, and in goes Caxi. They immediately take down Guster. Call of Urgot is pretty good. They find a lot of knockups with that one, and it is 1 kill back as the Urgot gets executed.
And they got him off. They just leave. Stop running forward, please, guys. Okay, you get a bounty mid lane? This is awesome for Elysium. That's the way back in the game.
No, I mean, they're still up against Cloud Soul. Feels like a slight bump in the road for Omega, but not really that big of a deal. They can just reset. As Persp respawns, he is going to have the teleport. And I'd honestly like to see them go straight back towards the Nash.
Yeah, probably they should, but it's just the thing of, okay.
Ooh, Arrow and Dilly, I think, overstayed a little bit here in mid lane.
Yeah.
Arrow is going to sacrifice himself to get the AD carry out to safety. Now a 5v4 for Omega. Should be Baron for sure. There's a teleport coming out from Persp. Joins back up with the team. Should make this a sure thing.
Yeah. Even with that ward and them knowing it and stuff, I don't think they can. CZI doesn't have ult. Watercat doesn't have ult. They don't have Dilly's ult. There's just nothing they can get from this.
Yeah.
It'd have to be some sort of miracle steal from Gus.
Standing guard as well. Just watching to see if Guster is going to try to move in. And the answer is no. The Baron will just be secured without a contest. And now Nubly looking for the engage. Gets straight on top of the Smolder. And Caxi jumps in there for the follow-up. They take down Watercat once again. CZI not going to be getting away either. A double kill for the mid laner. And once again, it is only 2 alive for Elysium with all of Omega barreling down the mid lane.
I guess Caster Curse. Sorry about that one, guys. Looks like it's Omega win.
I mean, we were really unsure about their draft, but first Macacius had so much control in that top lane up against the Ornn. The Saren worked a treat, or the Seraphine for Saren, rather, worked a treat in the mid lane as the Nexus turrets fall. And in goes Arrow, trying to go for that last-ditch defense, but it is not to be. Sub-30-minute victory. You thought it was going to be for Elysium, but it was Omega Gaming taking a decisive win here in game number 2.
Yeah, I'm really shocked. I mean, Saren, I think, to me, is the clear MVP that game, and not Seraphine mid. That game, I thought maybe it's coming back, and then we landed a 5-man Seraphine ult. Oof.
Yeah, that was what got them the Dragon Soul, I believe. That fight in mid lane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-0 and 8 on the Seraphine this game. In fact, he denied it from Watercat as well. Just the cherry on top. Very, very nice.
I don't think there needs to be anything more than that. Omega showing that they got legs in this series. Playing a really great game, and that's, again, some big picks have been denied now this game, you know? Watercat Smolder's gone. That was something I thought would be a really contested pick this series. Ornn is now gone for CZI. I think Gus, yeah, Gus is probably running out of these kind of really heavy, aggressive, clear speed junglers now with Zyra and Diana taken out. Going to be really interesting to see how the draft unfolds now later in this series.
Oh, for sure. I do want to take a moment to give Caxi some more flowers as well. We're putting a lot of pressure on the jungler, right, for Omega to create the pressure in the early game and make sure Omega were going to be able to get that early lead. And I thought Caxi did a great job on that Jin Zhao of finding those early fights and really getting them ahead and snowballing the game towards a pretty comfortable victory. So good stuff there. Good stuff from, across the board for Omega in that one. Coming back into this series very convincingly. We now have a best of 3 to determine who is going to be making it into the grand finals. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back. We are about to get started with this Game 3 draft now between Omega and Elysium. Elysium, after losing game number 2, have decided to move on over to the red side. And one other important thing to note here, Storm's Jae Young now back for Omega in the support position. Nubly performed for them very well, I thought. But with Jay back now, and, we talk a lot about momentum. After that game number 2, it feels like Omega have it in spades.
Yeah, I mean, I was convinced that that was a free win for Elysium, right? I was saying I put the points where my mouth was. I gambled and lost 7K.
By
But
channel points.
yeah, I think Omega are going to have a lot of momentum now. We're talking, there's a lot of kind of big picks are getting taken out now already, and we're going to have to see where these drafts kind of go. That these bans are kind of sticking the same. The Kog'Maw's been gone most of the time. Ivern has been banned by Omega every time. Lucian, interestingly, getting banned, and Elysium going to go after the Trist. So they're thinking now that Jae Young's back, maybe that Maj and Jae Young are going to be playing maybe a bit more aggressively with that Trist
Does
ban.
mean that Elysium are going to have to leave up one of either the Alawi or the Jarvan. Have been their two bans alongside the Kog'Maw so far tonight. So we'll see which one ends up making it through. Omega are going to stick with those same 3 bans that they have been. Well, they actually banned away the Jax in game 1. But it was the exact same bans as this in game number 2. And the Jarvan going to get taken away. So is it just Purse Balawi? Is he just going to lock it in right here?
I gotta think that you can't take it right now because Mordekaiser is up. And that matchup is still absolutely dreadful. I would also say that I don't know if CZI plays a lot of it, but the Yorick matchup also is really, really good. Whoa, that is an Azir round 1.
I mean, if we're talking about meta picks, Azir is up there. I mean, that is, if you're watching, pro leagues, World Championship, Azir is a classic B1 at the pro level. And Saren does actually have some games on it recently, has won his last 3 games on Azir in solo queues. So he's been practicing the pick, and you got to respect the confidence of bringing it out here.
Yeah, that's going to be a Caitlyn taken for Elysium. I don't think they need to take Nico or anything like that. That's kind of one of those pairings with it. Instead, they're going to get Watercat's response into this Azir, which is going to be the Zoe. This is like a Watercat special.
Yeah.
They are so good at this champion, and I hate playing against this champion. It is so frustrating to just randomly get bubbled and to die.
Yeah, we've seen Watercat have some amazing performances on the aspect of Twilight. And, how do we feel like that matchup should go into the Azir? That's an interesting one.
I think it's good for Zoe because you generally don't play in range where Azir gets to hit you a lot, right? It's all about you being able to do that. Your bubble travels through the wall as well, so you can buffer. If you know Azir is going to combo you, you can shoot your bubble into him as he's comboing you, and he doesn't get to like free hit you with the soldiers after he pushes you. But Omega taking some beef to their team. They're going to take Karma and Sejuani. So I'm guessing this is Karma support. I'm hoping no one is cringed in playing Karma top lane.
Surely not.
Yeah, Sejuani, kind of an interesting pick with Trundle being up.
Oh, true. It is a Caxi classic, but that Trundle is a great response for Elysium. A little bit surprised, honestly, that Omega didn't go for that Alawi. You have to imagine it's going to get banned away now in the second phase. The Trundle feels so great with the Zoe as well. The fact you can put up the pillar and throw the trouble bubble through it.
Yeah. I don't know. So what are we looking at now to pair with our Caitlyn, right? Because Caitlyn has to get push, and there's a lot of ADCs and like things like that that you can still take here for the side of Omega. I feel like they need some sort of heavy kind of AD fighter top lane for themselves. Because I'm guessing they're going to take some sort of wave clear bot laner right into this Caitlyn. I don't imagine you're going to pick another traditional ADC with all of them that have been banned and taken away from the pool. Like, who's even left, right? For like ADC picks.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying
Yunara?
to match the yeah, that feels really bad into the
Bad,
Caitlyn for
right?
sure. If you're trying to match the range, you could go like Jin, but then that's not a
Yeah.
great pairing with the Karma in terms of pressuring in the 2v2. I can think it could
Yes.
work.
Kaisa's up, Zaya as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's an Aphelios angle, but
Yeah,
I just,
Felios
yeah,
not a bad shout.
bad shout. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's the one. Maybe it's an Ezreal look, do the Karma Ezreal,
Yeah, that could
but
work too.
then I'm just wondering, like, again, where are you getting this benefit of taking this Sejuani? So I'm guessing it's going to be support here now, taken for Elysium. I'm thinking there's still, kind of a lot of classic pairings of the Lux is up.
Oh, Maokai? Is that
Okay,
support Maokai?
I think it. I guess it's a flex. It could be top lane, but
Could be. Interesting. Some extra front line.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
I don't
I'm
know. Very
not big on
interesting
that one.
choice. Not sure about
I
it
th-
either.
I think that sounds really really bad into the karma. That's probably going to support.
Right. Yeah, and normally
Um,
with a Caitlyn, you want something where you can play really aggressively and push,
yeah,
right? And they are going to go for the
yeah.
Jhin, so they are going to
Okay.
match the range of the Caitlyn. Very interesting. I mean, if it does end up being that Maokai support, then Omega are going to obviously have that double range advantage in the
Yeah.
2v2. And Caitlyn, if
And
she's not pressuring in the early game, definitely feels like kind of underwhelming.
yeah. And I think it's enough poke as well that Caitlyn's forced to take Fleet into that matchup, right? There isn't a big thing for you to take. And that's a Jax blind. Okay. We're throwing down
Yes.
the.
Yeah. The gauntlet,
Okay.
it has been
Yeah.
thrown. The lamppost, if you prefer. But it's a classic pairing with the Sejuani, right? I mean, you were calling out, we were
Yep.
hoping to see some kind of AD fighter in the top lane for Perspicacious this game. And I feel like the Jax is a really solid choice. He can team fight. He can split push depending on the game state, depending on the situation. Some really strong side laning
Yeah.
potentially could come out from the Azir as well. Now it looks like we're going to get
This
the
is
Cho'Gath. We're
this
fine.
is one of the tanks that really beats up on Jax. Um, it
Okay.
just a generally good matchup because Jax generally can't all in you because you always have the Q that you can place under yourself if he like leap strikes into you. You're able to win out on short trades with your E into him, and you're able to get push advantage. Um, this is one of the lane matchups I play a lot in solo queue. When Jax got buffed and every single person started playing him under the sun, I started slamming Cho'Gath every game and won a lot of games in a row. This is just one of those ones that if you know how the matchup works and you're able to position your Q, Jax just kind of gets annihilated. It is one of those things that Jax can build for that percentage health true damage and can build to play against you that he can go towards, Blade of the Ruin King or Sundered Sky and get these massive healing chunks off of you. But I think this is a really good look for Elysium. There's like a lot of tools that if somebody gets bubbled or like gets isolated, right? Like if Elysium gets to an objective first, Omega entering becomes so sketchy, right? Unless it is Sejuani running in, like there is Trouble Bubble to run through, there is Caitlyn traps, there's Maokai saplings, there's Cho combo on top of this, like pillars to separate your team. I think Elysium has a really strong fight, but it all depends on if they're ahead, right? This team, if they are behind, like and like last game we were talking about, oh, Elysium has all the scaling tools in the world, right? They don't have that this game. If Elysium is behind, their wave clear sucks. It's all on like Zoe, right? Who kind of has to go in and can get these huge chunks poked out of her. Caitlyn is notorious for being absolutely miserable in the mid game. Um, Again, this is just one of those teams that like the mid game spike for Elysium, if they are ahead, they can absolutely run this game. But on the same time for Omega, they have a lot of mid game going for them as well, right? Jax is notorious for being like nowadays this level 11 spamming, E once you get the points into that. Jin is fantastic in the mid game. Karma starts doing the ridiculous damage as well. You haven't fallen off yet. Sejuani still has, in mid game up towards levels 12 and 13, has the damage to threaten still as a tank. and Azir starts really kind of starting to hit his stride in terms of the scaling. So I think Omega has a better comp overall, but I think this one's really hard to tell. This whole game, I think, to me, is dictated within the first 10 minutes. Whichever team's ahead, I think, is going to win. I don't think there's a lot of comeback in either of these teams. So I'm kind of going to throw it over to you and hear your thoughts.
Interesting. Yeah, I honestly I don't fully agree.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely Elysium. They have very nice pick and very nice zone control. But like you did point out, the wave clear leaves a lot to be desired, and they have basically zero consistent damage. So it definitely I agree in the sense that like if Elysium fall behind with this draft, it's going to be probably nearly impossible for them to retake control. It really does hinge on them having the priority and being able to set up and control the space, right? And I think it's going to be really difficult for them to get that priority. I mean, Zoe getting the push into Azir feels difficult. Cho'Gath, you were talking about how the way that matchup is supposed to be played, right, is you hold your rupture where if Jax goes in, then you can always punish him, right? But if you're
Yeah.
holding your abilities as Cho'Gath, then Jax is just going to push the minion wave and get that
You
priority and he's
you
going to be
you
able to move.
push. You outpush him with your E on the minion wave. You're able
Cho'Gath
to
does? Okay, okay.
yeah. You're able to get the push into Jax almost
All right.
always.
Well, then it could be down to CZI, I think,
Yeah.
honestly. If he's going to be able to get the push into Jax and rotate and create numbers advantages for Elysium, that could be a way for them to get that priority and set up and take that space. But I definitely think that they're going to have to play with tempo. And for the side of Omega, you're talking about how there's not really great comeback mechanisms, but I feel like the later this game goes, the more comfortable Omega are actually going to be with the Azir and with the Jax. They're going to be so potent in the side lanes later on. And the Azir, I feel like, is the one champion in this game out of the 10 champions that we have that is really, should be able to reliably do damage against triple frontline on the side of Elysium. I feel like Saren is really set up for success here.
Okay. Well, I'm I'm still kind of leaning towards Elysium's draft, to be honest with you. You're leaning towards Omega, so that's an interesting way to be looking at it. I do really think that CZI should be able to take this over. I know he plays a lot of Cho'Gath and solo queue. I think this lane matchup is really, really friggin' good, but I play a lot of Cho'Gath. He is one of my I was talking about, how I feel Caxi has his dedicated champions, which this Sejuani is one. Cho'Gath would be one of mine. So I might be caster biased on this one of just going, it's a Cho'Gath angle. So we'll have to see. Split call on the cast. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this one's going to be really interesting. 10 minutes in, I think there's going to be a clear winner. And I think we're just about ready to send it to game and get to that spec delay.
Sure. Let's go ahead and get into the break. Then Omega taking a decisive win in game number 2. See if they can keep that momentum rolling or if Elysium will be able to fight back and get themselves up to match point. Don't miss it. Okay, everybody, here we go. Game number 3, Omega Gaming. First time on the blue side tonight, and Elysium trying their hand at red. Their selection, of course, after losing game number 2, did go for the Cho'Gath there for CZI on the R5. Top laner did take over for them in game number 1, and we think it might be down to him again here in game number 3. See how it goes.
That was very rude by Saren. He initiated a dance-off and then poked Watercat. Can't believe Saren would do this.
It's pretty BM.
Yeah.
Emoting on him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to go for a little bit of mental warfare.
Fishing in the river, getting that gold gem.
Well, now they're going to attack Guster while he's dancing as well? Oh my goodness. So good.
I hope Omega loses.
Caxi is losing out on a lot of HP, and he's just going to have to flash. All right.
That's...
well,
okay. That was a decision.
Some immediate karma coming out, and she wasn't even involved in that play.
Yeah. First, just able to get one fish. Oh,
Pharaoh
God.
Gonna go in immediately with a twisted advance, and it's gonna kind of work out as Jae Young takes a bunch of damage from the Piltover Peacemaker, and not able to find the inner flame there either. Looks like the push will go over to the Jin Karma lane, though.
Yeah, Dilly has popped his health potion, by the way, already. He is not looking... This does not seem like it is going to be a good matchup. I was just looking at the stats when we were in our break. Apparently, Maokai is good into Karma. Is like a 51%, 52% winning as the support when you look at all the stats. I don't understand how. This sounds miserable to me. I guess Karma pokes you and you heal a lot because she uses so many abilities. So your passive's up a lot or something, but To me, it just sounds like you are not very useful.
Oh, Dilly gonna
Oh,
get hit
God.
by the deadly flourish there. Caitlyn taking a lot of damage early on. And this is something we did talk about in the draft conversation, right? The fact that if Caitlyn is not able to win during the laning phase, the pick feels very underwhelming.
Yeah. Also, CZI, I'm watching you. I watched you miss that CS. You need to hit those. Remember, it's Cho'Gath that heals you when you CS, and that's how you win this. Is you out sustain Jax, and you don't use your abilities on the wave like that, buddy.
Oh, dear. Well, yeah, feels like Elysium trying to get the most out of red side, maybe using the stat sites to try and get some optimal matchups. At least one of them, well, yeah, honestly, neither of them really working out that great so far, as Dilly is down to 200 health. Trying to stick around down here, forced to farm with Q. Not where Caitlyn wants to be. Jay looking, finds the Inner Flame once again. Another Comet proc. Does Dilly just have to leave here?
He has to, right? Like,
I
even
think
though
he
this
should.
wave is pushing in, like, Maj should just slow this
my
down
goodness.
and get force shot ready. And now you go for this dive while you have force shot.
Oh
You
my
just
god.
flash force shot him. Yeah,
Could be a flash
right?
force shot angle. You would probably die afterwards to the Maokai. And in the end, he's not going to go for it. And Dilly is going to be able to pick up most of this minion wave.
Yeah, but you can just set that play up again, can't you? And look at... I guess. I feel like Dilly shouldn't have been able to pick up most of that wave there. Gus is coming down, maybe?
Interesting, yeah. Caxi, I believe, was also on this bottom side of the map after his full clear, but elected to go for the reset and is now moving towards the top river. He leaves Guster to go for a free look towards this bot lane. Flash engage for Arrow, but a nice flash from Mad just to the other side of the Maokai. The Guster full HP on this Trundle takes a play out of the din. Dilly walked up, though, maybe a little bit too far, but will be all right. And Guster able to take down Maj. Jay.
How long on W? Oh, there it is.
Flash and gets away from the engage of the Maokai. It's going to be Elysium on the board first.
Okay, also something worth pointing out there. That is a pretty big lead right now in mid lane for Watercat. Up 10 CS at 4 minutes. So
Nice.
that might be a win for them there. Both.
God, he's got X-Flash Sejuani.
That's a new one for me.
And he's running Phase Rush, so he doesn't have Green Tree at all.
That can't be correct. CZI,
I don't like
you should be fighting this man. You can win this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Caxi is here.
I just had to push forward and get the level 6 timing, and then you just ult him, man. Oh, it's a
How
forward.
close is the Cho'Gath to level 6? Let's take a look. He's only halfway there, so it's gonna be a little
Yeah.
while actually before he gets level 6.
But you
but
just
perk
want to keep
is very
Jax
low.
around, right? Like you
And
just
well, he's
use,
succeeding in that.
yeah, you just use your E and you just keep poking him out until he gets low enough where you can just ult him, and you just hold your ult and you never use it on a minion.
Well, Perspicacious in the end was first to level 6, and CZI a little bit of a lower mana bar. Maybe the reason why he didn't want to play it very aggressively.
Yeah.
Should be able to get this wave pushed out, and then I imagine we're going to get some teleports. Oh, a nice sleep coming out from Watercat. Gets Saren chunked down, already used the teleport, did the Azir, so a little bit of a tough spot in the mid lane, still significantly behind in CS.
Yeah, Watercat showing why they're kind of renowned at this champion, just landing these bubbles constantly. I mean, that's the easy way to tell if it's always any good, right? Is how many times do they hit bubbles on you?
Watercat, bubble accuracy, pretty good so far. Haven't been keeping super close track of it, but definitely putting on the pressure here in the mid lane. And pick up a ghost there. Very nice. Dragon's still alive. Nobody playing really aggressively towards that just yet. We do see Guster moving towards this bottom side of the map. Caxi down there as well. We're going to potentially set up a lane gank as another Paddle Star going to land onto the Azir.
Yeah, and doesn't have TP to get back to lanes. This is just going to be another wave just sacrificed to his tower. He's going to be down 15,
Isn't available.
16.
Looks for it. Finds it onto Dilly. The Caitlyn surely going to be in some trouble here, but gets away from the Karma tether. Arrow, though, stunned up by the Frostbite. Also going to be able to retreat underneath the tower. Guster, a really nice
What
pillar.
a great pillar.
Gets Madge in a tough spot, but the barrier is there. Turns it back around onto the Trundle, who's only level 4. And
What
so
is
nobody goes
happening?
down.
How is Sejuani 2 levels up on my Trundle jungle? What the hell?
Great question. There was, I know, a little bit of counter jungling that happened, and Guster did go for that early gank in the bot lane, but does feel a little bit surprising that the Sejuani is so far ahead. Cat's
he
coming
gonna die
back
to
now
Gromp?
without the ultimate this time. No, he's fine. He's Trundle. He's fine.
Okay. He smited, and it was very, very low, so I was just concerned.
We've been over this already. Jungle
Yeah.
Pet healing, very OP. All good.
Okay.
CZI, not really that good in the top lane right
Yeah.
now.
No,
there's some of that sustain coming through, though.
He does not have the
Sleep,
same level.
another Paddle Star Water Cat is just so oppressive with this champion.
Can I check, is CZI maxing E or Q? That's all I need to know. Observer, if you could in a second. Okay, we're
It is
maxing
E.
E. Okay.
You were really worried there, weren't you?
I was so worried. Do you know how many people do this? It's a lot.
Too many? Yeah.
Yeah. When you're playing Tank Cho'Gath and they still max Q, because that's what the stat site tells you to do.
Silly stat site. Oh my
Yep.
goodness, that was very close. Zarin is barely hanging on. Oh, he goes for the sweep, but can't quite find it. Does get the flash out, at least from Watercat. A trade of flashes between the mid laners.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think
taking the grubbies right now. Does not have the mid prio for this, but it looks like Elysium are just not going to check.
I am so confused, bro. Also, this is Fimble Winter Rush Sejuani. Remember CZI was talking about this, that Caxi loves this item?
Yeah, he did say something about that, didn't he?
Yeah. He used to do it on Zinzao. I think it's maybe a little better on Sejuani on a tank. This item was really good on top lane Sejuani. So,
yeah.
CZI, please stop using your Q and W on the wave. I beg of you.
Jax
don't
isn't
mean
even
to.
there right now. It's okay.
Yeah.
I know you feel very strongly about Cho'Gath, but he's doing okay. The dragon did go over to Elysium, so it's going to be a trade of these initial neutrals. In a relatively even game so far. It was looking really dire, honestly, for both of those Elysium side lanes in the very early laning phase. But they've managed to maintain basically parity in the sides. And Watercat, as previously discussed, having a great time there in mid.
Yep, picked up a stride breaker there, I think, off the ground.
Arrow looking for something. Gonna find a J with the Nature's Grasp. They're gonna be coming down here as well, but Karma's still with Flash. Gonna be able to get away from that one. Curtain now called upon as the shots land into the Trundle. The fourth one landing there as well. Guster going down so low. The Deadly Flourish, is it going to be there? Oh, it comes out, and that's going to be the flash out from the Trundle. Imagine Jay playing that out very nicely in the 2v3, and now here comes Caxi on the Sejuani. Does have the Glacial Prison available. Does he have the read on where Guster is basing? Meanwhile, Saren maintaining his 100 HP here in mid. As, oh dear, I'm getting a little bit of lag here on the Parsec stream.
I am as well.
Oh my goodness. Well, Caxi has died, and now we have the ace in the hole. That's going to be a kill for Dilly, as a little bit over-aggressive. Omega overplaying their hand towards this bot side, and Elysium now with the Feet of Warfare secured.
Yeah, it was just them going in really hard. I'm just taking a look at the stream, which was just a little bit, which we can see, and yeah. Just Caxi and Jae Young walked all the way over towards that bot side of the jungle towards Gromp and just got collapsed on by Arrow and Dilly. Got some traps down, got those headshot procs for Caitlyn. Oh yeah, man, they needed that.
This stream quality does not seem to be getting better right now. So, Mr. Producer, I don't know if you need to go for like a quick reset or something. There is another Battlestar we did see land onto Saren. No surprise there. Okay. I think we have potentially fixed things up now. Looking better at the moment.
Now, CZI, hit him. You kill him. You
kill
him here. You kill him here, please.
Yeah. The little baby leap strike away. The rupture does have to be flashed. He got the flash, Storm. It's okay. He
has flash. He should kill him.
Shh. It's okay, Storm. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Elysium, they're winning right now. They're up 3-0. They've got about a 1.5k gold lead. They are in a good spot right now in this game.
Yeah, I know. I'm just... Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Take a deep breath. It's all right. And now we do see also Elysium. They just need a couple of more objectives or a tower. Give themselves the feats of strength here. And Watercat has already farmed a couple of plates off of this mid-tier 1. This is without any grubs, just in a pure 1v1. Watercat is putting on just a ridiculous amount of pressure. Saren just cannot breathe in this mid lane.
Yeah, that's why was not as concerned about this Zir. Watercat is very, very good at this champion. I banned this champion a lot when I played against him back when I was in Emerald.
Yeah.
As did a lot of people earlier in the season, right? We were seeing round 1 and 2, Zoe bans, and I was kind of joking. It's like, that's what take Watercat off of Zoe, and they're not nearly as potent, and you're kind of seeing why.
Yeah, he is just an artist on the pick, no doubt about it. And we'll see if they're going to be able to continue utilizing that mid-prio. Our next dragon in about a minute here. And that would be very big for Elysium. If they can get that one, then you're starting to threaten Soul. And you're really going to be forcing Omega to potentially put themselves in some uncomfortable situations.
Kill him, CC. God damn it, bro.
Nature's grasping the bot lane. Caxi going to soak that up pretty beautifully as in goes Arrow. Caxi trying to flash away, but the ace in the hole. It's not going to be blocked by Jay. The Sejuani goes down. And another kill. The Peacemaker connects as well for Dilly. Gets the double. And the curtain call is just not really going to get much done at all this time around. Elysium taking complete control in both mid and bot. We would like them to take control in the top lane as well, but ultimately, I really don't think it matters very much. That's 4 turret plates for Watercat in the pure 1v1 with no grubs.
And first tower down here gonna go down in bot lane, it looks like.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, I still like Omega's comp better, but this is the strength of Elysium's draft, right? If they are able to get control, they are really good at taking space and holding it.
Yep. And it starts becoming this thing now of they're the team ahead and they're the ones pushing tempo. And it now means, how the hell do you enter any of these things? Okay, so we didn't straight up rush our Fimbulwinter as well. It is still the Heartsteel Sejuani.
Double stacking items for the tank jungler as well. Okay, well, they're scaling. They're scaling. They're playing for late game.
Is this a dive angle? There is 3 people up here.
Right.
Remember, Shogat does heal a fair amount off of these.
Not too much of a minion wave. CZI is going to expend the flash. Gets away from the initial engage. Saren swoops in, gets the sweep on it too, but the follow-up isn't there. And now Guster looking to continue fighting with the subjugate. That was a little bit optimistic.
Okay, Arrow's
on the
here.
way now. The Nature's Grasp going to be coming back off cooldown very soon, but doesn't have it quite yet, and Omega will back away.
Yeah, and we see while this is all going on, Watercat is down here in the bot lane, and there's no one else down here as well. Just going to get some minions denied into this bot lane tier 2. But Caxi is able to get to this objective first and crucially kill this Subtle Crab and set up.
Oh, CZI now no flash. Perspicacious finds the counter-strike stun, and the Cho'Gath is going to get taken down. Caxi going to take the last hit, gets the clang from the Heartsteel. Very nice.
Okay.
And can they parlay that into a turret and or a Rift Herald? Guster is here to clear out this minion wave. I don't know if this turret is realistically going to take. Cax is just going to go for the dive, and it's working out so far. The Glacial Person is going to miss, though, and they're able to drop the turret aggro. Caxi on a sliver of health, and Arrow looking for the wrap around here, but the minion wave can't be cleared out. Perspicacious takes down the tower. Ace in the hole comes out, blocked by Jay Young this time around.
Guys,
Caxi gets away.
you need to help
not going to be able to chase anybody down. Arrow trying to finish off the Jax, and he can't do it. Dilly, though, absolutely can, and does eventually headshot the Jax. Guster, still barely alive, looking for the wraparound, taken down by Caxi. Another clang for the Sejuani, immediately into the headshot for the Caitlyn. Ends up being a 2 for 2. Turret does go down for Omega, but ultimately a relatively even trade.
Yeah, and you're happy with that if you're Omega, right? You got a pretty big injection of gold. We see that this is Jax has his Trinity Force completed, has now upgraded his boots, which is really big for him. And now we just have to see, is Guster able to keep this momentum up? Did elect to go for this Trinity Force as Trundle, so that is, you know, all about kind of being able to brawl now as this pick. And how much are they able to get from it? Dragon's 2 minutes away. Oh, that's asleep. Is he dead?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Solo
Okay.
kill for Watercat, his first of the game. Item online, the upgraded boots as well, as Zoe is just
Jaeyoung?
more and more threatening. Oh, Jaeyoung in a terrible spot. Gonna go to
Oh.
sleep for a while. That's gonna be a lot longer than the actual just duration
Yeah.
of the sleep. It is gonna be, in fact, 25 seconds of sleep for Jaeyoung. He finds himself with a gray screen, and that's 2 kills now for Watercat, picking him up in quick succession.
Yeah, and Caxi just having his whole bot side jungle warded, so we know that he should be top lane here. There was a ping going out there that they do see this Herald has been dragged out of the pit. There is that control ward in the back. Wonder what the response is here from Gus, if we're just going to ignore that and say, fine, you guys can have Herald. And if he's going to go for the bot lane camps, does have the Hexgate portal to get in there if he so chooses.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna
honestly, I
take a
really don't
reset.
think Rift Herald does too much for Omega here. It's going to come down to this third dragon in a minute. That's going to be soul point for Elysium if they can get it. What's our soul?
Yeah, I really
name?
think...
Exol. Oh, wow.
Exol. I really think they should have given this to Jax as well, because this is the part of the map that's winning for you. CZI is not holding his Q for when Jax jumps in on him. There you go. And now you auto him when that's happening.
Well, there was an auto in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, Perspicacious definitely doing a solid job in that 1v1 to Storm's dismay.
Yep.
Oh my god, Watercat got another solo kill. Well, that's the dragon. And I think that might actually just be the game.
Yep. I have no idea how Omega is going to be able to ever check an objective, basically. I don't even think
terrifying.
Sejuani gets bubbled and gets like trapped into Ace in the Hold and probably still like dies with the paddle star damage that Watercat is putting out.
Resists.
Yeah.
He has actually 0. Okay, he has Merc Treads.
Merc Treads. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so they're looking for a play onto CZI here. They're looking for the cross map. They have a cannon minion. CZI
we should
have
know
it for a
this.
little snack. Caxi's gonna come in. They're gonna look for the dive onto CZI. They get the stun and the Glacial Prison there for the follow-up. So pretty cleanly executed. Caxi still has the flash, though. They're still gonna lose Persp in the dive. And that's just not nearly enough. Oh my god, are they gonna transition this straight into an Otacon as well? I also wanted to mention that I think they can.
Okay.
I mean, Caxi, they know, was on the opposite side of the map. And they're so strong right now. Elysium, the Caitlyn is on 2 items. The Zoe's on 2 items. Watercat is on the opposite side of the map without teleport. Oh, Saren. They're wrapping around on him. Oh, dear. He does have the Emperor's Divide.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Azir is going to be able to scoot out to safety. But yeah, he's just going to have to use the ult to get away. There is no contesting for the new guy. Caxi is just clearing out the top minion wave and almost died to the Zoe there. Thankfully, his own minions arrived in time to tank up that Q. But look at this, Watercat unafraid in the 1v2. Caxi gonna charge for it. They want to make him pay for this. He has the cleanse, and here comes CZI as well. The sleep is going to land. The Rupture gonna be there as well. The Feast not quite there for the Cho'Gath, but it's not going to matter. Watercat happily going to secure the kill. And CZI just waiting for the Feast. Has it back now. Can he get on top of Jay? Flashes for it, and there it is. Has a little snack for himself.
Just type back CZI.
1v2. 1v3.
Oh, he got on the bubble.
Another sleep for Watercat. Makes it look effortless. Madge gonna get dove here in the top lane. Arrow tanking it up beautifully. Is gonna die to the tower. But Elysium not worried about that whatsoever. They are so ridiculously far ahead. Looking like they're going up to match point.
Yeah. Is a little bit of silver lining that we might get a turret down here in the bot lane if we're Saren. I don't know if he does. He might die for it because he's out of mana and Watercat is here.
Like Watercat will allow the Azir to live this time, for now. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like this game was all about, for me, For you, it was about the Cho'Gath. For me, it was about the Zoe and the Caitlyn. They drafted a 2-carry composition, neither one with any consistent damage, and the fact that both Watercat and Dilly are having an amazing game is what has allowed Elysium to snowball this so effortlessly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a tank player and the rest of your team is winning the game, it's pretty easy to play out. It doesn't matter if you're winning by yourself. So that's fair to say. And now it's just, okay, how do you guys contest this dragon that spawns in 2 minutes? The short answer, I'm pretty sure, is you don't. And then the enemy team gets Hex Soul, and then you can never, ever play the game again because they are a poke comp with Hex Soul.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So Omega, it feels like they're bleeding out. It just doesn't feel like there's anything that they can do at this point. Like, how do you retake this space? It's so dangerous. Like, one little bit of CC hits you, and literally anybody is just instantly dead, including the Sejuani. Instantly dead.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?
Yeah, and all CZI has to do is just sit on top of Jax, basically, and make sure that he doesn't, randomly get a whole bunch of gold on the rest of the map. I guess you bait here with Saren?
Oh my god, it was just 1 Q and he's almost dead. Subjugate can come out there from Guster. That was a little bit optimistic there once again for the Trundle, but it's probably not going to matter. Perspicacious has reset. Looking to potentially join up with the team here, but I mean, it's still a minute until the dragon. They're gonna go for some reset.
CZI building is he doing the Mundo build? Are we building Hearthsteel into Warmogs?
Possibly.
Okay, I don't like that either. No, as Cho'Gath, you can just straight up build a Warmogs if you want, because your ult gives you the health to do it as well.
Like without the Heartsteel? Sans Heartsteel Warmogs?
Yeah, you can just do it once you get 4 stacks.
Yeah, it does feel like the Heartsteel is not an amazing value for red side draft this game. Like, the only person you can really reliably auto attack is the Sejuani to get your clangs.
Yeah.
But again, I really don't think it matters at all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. So 20 seconds now on Dragon. Everybody's trying to group up now and see if they can walk in as 5 maybe and take a fight. And now we get to see the hell rain down from above. Watercat is level 17 at 25 minutes into this game.
He is a monster. He is so fucking scary. All right, that's asleep. Is that a dead Jax? He manages to jump away. The Rupture does still land. Arrow, look at Arrow's position here in the pit. Looking for the big Maokai ultimate. Saren does find the sweep onto 2, but Watercat is not one of them. Dilly is, though. He's going to get shut down by the Jax. Look at the Zoe on the side here, though, just pelting them with the paddle stars. And now Guster charging forward on the Trundle, looking to take a bite out of Madge. Arrow gets in there with a twisted advance. That's going to be the end of the gen. And Watercat just untouched for this entire fight, just raining down hell, as you so aptly said, onto Omega. Jay going to be the last to fall. Hex Texel is going to go over. And Watercat Zoe, ladies and gentlemen, he just completely has taken over this game.
Yeah. So 10 CS a minute, and we have 5 kills, and we're level 17. I think this might be an MVP vote. Pretty easily decided.
Yeah, Dilly was definitely in the running, but he has now taken a death, unfortunately. So I think Watercat has convincingly now pulled into the lead as far as the POG voting is concerned.
Huh. So that was a really great fight for Omega. I will say they went in and they all tried to kill people immediately, right? They didn't let the poke just settle down on them. They immediately, tossed the Shurima Shuffle with the flash for Saren. Caxi ulted somebody immediately. They didn't just sit down and let stuff happen to them. This thing seems really polarized.
Yeah, Caxi going to get around relatively early here. Arrow positions the ultimate, Jay Young picking up the Caitlyn ultimate for the 80 carries. Shuffle away, but going to get caught by the Maokai ultimate. Arrow been having a great performance on that Maokai as well, and Dilly's just walking him down. Going to be a flash over the wall and a headshot to finish off the Jhin. This time it is Perspicacious, who is the last to fall. It's going to be a clean ace for Elysium. They are now up 8,000 gold, a Baron at 27 minutes, and hopefully a push to end.
Yeah, I think a Baron Siege with Zoe, Caitlyn, and Maokai and Trundle sounds pretty good. I don't think I really want to be on the receiving end of that. So yeah, that should probably end the game. Maybe after the rest of the team resets here, you get this one tower, and then you probably just group up. I don't know. They can just push as well. I feel like Watercat can just kind of do what they want. They're gonna be like 6 items by the time this game is over.
He's got double flash right now.
Okay,
There's one flash.
Never mind. I was like, maybe this is the overstay, and this is a way back in or something. Okay. But this is the fun part of League, right? When you are this insanely fed, this doesn't happen all the time. So just enjoy it while you can, Watercat.
And, you know, we were talking about momentum before.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was Omega's at the start of this game, and now it's not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was by the time the second plate went down that the momentum was dead.
Oh, in the mid lane, in the second plate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's really, it almost feels gratuitous to actually cast the rest of this game, if we're being honest. Yeah, hoping to see Elysium. Oh, some more stream difficulties here, actually. Looks like the curtain call is happening.
On your end.
Oh, is it? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and cast it then, Storm.
Okay, well, Perspicacious in the middle of the enemy team gets trouble bubbled and immediately dies. That's going to be the rest of this team hitting this inhibitor, and CZI and the rest of Elysium are marching towards the base. Watercat looking for this trouble bubble, isn't able to find onto Maj. That's a great shuffle from Snare, and able to get the Maokai into the fountain, pick that kill up, but Dilly able to just start free firing onto these people. Oh my god, that was one auto attack that did like 30% of Maj's health. He's almost dead. Saren silenced. Is he able to get anything? Cho'Gath not willing to commit. Guster gonna finish off the Nexus there.
29-minute victory, another sub 30-minute game, and it's going to be Elysium going up to match point. Definitely an exclamation point at the end of that one. Man.
Yeah, MVP for Watercat. Good job. You absolutely smurfed that game. That was disgusting.
Yeah, 34
CZI,
points.
I am disappointed in you.
Yeah, I mean, our Cho'Gath enthusiast over here definitely was hoping to see a little bit more from CZI, but not anything more was needed from CZI by Elysium in this game, as Watercat really did just take over. And Guster, you know, had that nice early gank towards the bot lane as well. You know, we remember Dilly and Arrow were really suffering those first few waves in the 2v2. It seemed like Maj and Jae Young. Remember, we were like, oh my god, Dilly is just going to die. They're going to like flash forward shot him underneath the turret, and he's going to be like out of the game. But then that one gank from the Trundle just felt like it completely turned that around. Dilly and Arrow were able to stabilize very nicely. And Elysium, a clean snowball into a clean Game 3 victory. Very, very convincing. But, you know, if so it's been Elysium 1 Game 1, Omega Game 2, Elysium Game 3. This could be a 5-gamer, Storm.
Yeah, it could be the back and forth. The red side, is it broken? Is it OP? We'll see. Omega West side selection, we'll see once this fades out what side they decide to take. We're going to send it to a short break, guys. See you soon.
All right, folks, time for game 4 draft. Elysium now up to match point. After that decisive game 3 victory, Omega are going to move back over to the red side, which has won now the last 2 games. Although it did lose game number 1, Storm. So red side not undefeated tonight. Or did it
Yep.
lose game
Uh,
1?
I
Yeah, it did.
yeah, it did. Interesting. Again, we're seeing the ADC pool is getting pinched further and further. There's not that many things left that I think are kind of traditional. This is one of the things I like the most about Fearless. The kind of the notable ones I'm going to shout out now is like Kaisa, Aphelios, Ezreal, Zaya. I feel like those are like the 4 ADCs that are left that almost everyone plays. I guess this Lucian is kind of there as well, but it's been banned. Um,
Yeah.
Tristana as well, gonna been on the ban table. So see if any team wants to go for something different and funky. If we're gonna see one of these AD carries kind of pull out one of the ADC pocket picks of the ADC
Yeah.
that not everyone pays. Like, are we gonna see a Samira game or from somebody or a Senna, or are we gonna get a Senna pairing? Kog'Maw
Seen a
getting
couple
taken
of
out once again.
a few Ziggs games from Dilly I know as
Yeah,
well. Could look towards something like that.
I hope not. That champion's boring. I would much rather see a Samira in my game than a Ziggs. I think
Sure,
that would be
sure. From
very
an
exciting.
entertainment perspective, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty fair, I think. Taking a look at the bans here. So Omega now back on the red side. They've taken away the Ivern and the Lucian. See if that Nocturne is going to remain their third ban. And Elysium going to go ahead and take away the Kog'Maw, the Jarvan, and the Alawi. Doesn't mean they're leaving open the Tristana this
Tristana.
time around. Yeah.
Yeah,
So perhaps that's being threatened as a B1.
yeah, I guess. I didn't think Tristana was all that of a high priority pick, but it is something that Maj really likes and has been playing a lot. So I
They
guess
can
Elysium
flex
are
it
gonna
as
take
well,
it.
theoretically.
Yeah. Oh, this is
So,
true.
and even, I just mentioned the Ziggs. I'm a big fan of the Tristana Ziggs combo, the Destroyer Yordles, where you just
Yep.
one-shot towers.
Yep.
That could be pretty fun. The Corki, though, is, I believe, another option that you mentioned a
Yeah.
moment ago. That's going to come through in response. And now maybe a support here for Jay. His Karma,
Uh,
again, was like really good for those first few waves last game before the Trundle kind of threw a wrench into things for that Omega bot duo. Let's see what he's going to go for this time around. Or perhaps a jungler here for Caxi could be good.
yeah, the Amumu is up.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Wow.
slamming a Renekton.
All right. I mean, as far as blind pick top laners go, Renekton is a classic.
Yep. I mean,
Feels pretty bold to give counter pick over to CZI here, though.
yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that's up that's pretty good into this. I think. I mean, you have the kind of classics, so there's like Mordekaiser, you can just take another tank and take the Malphite or something like that. Scion, sure, that one's fine. Um, to just kind of
So,
stonewall top lane.
already the
And
makings
now,
of a pretty classic teamfight composition here for Elysium with the
yeah,
Scion frontline.
I'm a little worried that this game and this whole series for the past kind of I feel like no, it's the whole series has been very much about early game kind of tempo and things like that. So
Mhm.
not really loving the Scion. It doesn't offer that much, much more of the scaling option. That is going to be the Amumu locked in now for Caxi. I imagine that means that they're going to go ahead and ban the Silas away from Guster Posey. There it is.
Good call. Yeah. I wonder if they'll ban the Ziggs here as well. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely
not
other things. If,
sure.
if the Tristana ends up going into the bot lane, there's definitely other things that Watercat could go towards. So it's not like you're really gonna pinch the pool for Elysium meaningfully with a Ziggs ban, but I just feel like it would
Yeah.
be a strong with what Elysium already have. But we'll see what Omega want to go towards. They could also potentially take it on R4. Could be another
Yeah.
option because it's great with the Amumu also, and it gives you your mixed damage profile, alongside the Corki if they wanted to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning that this Poppy is probably a flex. It can be going into the jungle for Guster. It can be support for Arrow. Probably not going top lane because we've picked Scion, but I think it is a very good matchup into Renekton. So,
Scion mid for Watercat?
oh, there we go. I don't know. Soraka getting banned. That's a shout out. That was, I think, one of the first series we cast Jay Young. He pulled out the
Yeah.
Soraka game 3 with the round 5 pick, and we were just kind of like, wow, that's insane here.
And he popped off with it.
Yep.
So pretty good bans there from Elysium, you got to say. Taking away some of Jay's options that he can be a little bit more aggressive with in the lane. And he's going to go for the Sona. Wow. So that's not aggressive for the lane. And it's not paired
No.
with the Seraphine either. So not sure how we feel about that Sona lock-in.
Still that always the thing, right? Sona's, if the game goes late, Sona's there. You can take Senna as well, right? And you can go for the ultimate scaling duo there and have Corki mid, and then rely on Renekton and Amumu to kind of have you for the mid game. That's a Morgana. Is this jungle or mid lane or support? I don't know.
Could still be any of them. Both the Poppy
Yeah.
and the Morgana could get flexed into any of those positions. So we're going to have to wait for this last lock-in for Elysium. My
think they
money is
need
on the
more
jungle
damage.
Morgana.
Yeah, I think we're taking some sort of more damage orientated mid lane, and it's Tristana bot, and it's Tristana Poppy bot lane.
That's my guess as well. And then we're going to get a Watercat champion here on 5. Let's see if we're right. We are not correct.
Not
it is,
correct.
in fact, the Blitzcrank for Arrow this game. We paired up alongside the Tristana. Doesn't mean we're going to have the Morgana mid and the Poppy jungle for Guster.
Yeah, or
Let's
those
see
are our
now.
best guesses anyway. Who knows what the hell's going to happen? There might be a Scion in the mid lane or something.
I guess we can't completely rule it out just yet.
Yeah.
But now R5 for Omega. Again, they chose red side here for this game number 4. Let's see what they can get for Saren. It's going to be the Mel in the mid lane. So definitely could see that being a good matchup into the Morgana. I mean, the Dark Binding is a very slow projectile, but it is a shorter cooldown, I believe, than the Reflect. So
yeah, I'm just wondering, doesn't Morgana just push you out a lane? Doesn't she push faster than you? She just W's the lane and just kind of doesn't interact with you.
I mean, the Mel does also have decent wave clear, but I feel like the Morgana does probably have an earlier spike.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, as soon as you get the Faded Ashes, I feel like mid lane waves don't really stick around very much as Morgana mid. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very interesting comp. So Omega has the AoE Wombo combo of Sona Amumu, and then there's like Melroot on top of it as well, right?
Yeah.
So they have that going for them for team fights. On the other hand, the enemy team has Poppy to deny Amumu engage. They have Morgana Black Shield to deny Amumu engage, and they have a Scion front line, as well as Tristana to deny Amumu engage. So I think Caxie's job seems really, really hard this game for the side of Omega.
I would agree.
Yeah.
However, that is a lot of tools for Elysium. They do have to be worried about the Renekton as well. We know that Perspicacious is always ready to look for those flank angles and come from an unexpected direction. So if they are going to be really preoccupied with Caxie and trying to keep this Amumu off the back line, then Perspicacious could end up finding a really big angle. And something else to consider, I think, here, Storm, is the fact that Elysium, this time around, it's really just a one carry threat composition. It's all about this Tristana. So the game plan for Omega is very clear. They know their target in every single fight.
Yeah, and I think the one benefit of that is who Morgana's putting the Black Shield on every single fight. If we have put Morgana E onto someone that is not named Tristana and is not maybe yourself, if you're getting like chunked, like getting engaged on, you have made a horrible mistake, right? So I think that is the one benefit. I am a little worried about the fact that there's Blitzcrank and Amumu in the same game. It's just the solo queue nightmare of, oh god, I have hooked the enemy Amumu into my team and they have all died. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But I don't really know how Sona Corki does as a bot lane. And that's not one I see a lot of together. Corki's generally fairly aggressive as it comes to this. We are seeing the
Right.
bans come through. It is Scion top, the jungle, Poppy, and Morgana mid. You're correct, which does make the most sense.
Hmm. I will say as
Um,
well about this Corki Sona situation. The Sona in particular, very susceptible to getting hooked,
yeah,
theoretically.
yeah, can die incredibly easily. Sona is one of the squishiest champions in the entire game. The reason being is that she is probably one of the best scaling champions in the entire game, and just provides your team with a whole bunch of invisible buffs that make you feel incredibly powerful, and it feels awful to play, which is why she doesn't get seen anymore.
Yeah.
Um, be interesting to see. I mean, Sona needs money. We're gonna have to buy a tier item as Sona, because your mana costs are ridiculous.
And
I
just getting
am,
abilities constantly.
yeah, and you're spamming abilities constantly. So I'm interested to see what Jay Young's gonna build and how they're gonna get there. I'm kind of leaning towards Omega on this one, even though we were talking about all this stuff of, it should be really hard for Caxi. I just think having a second threat is really, really big for them. I really do not like having solo threat Tristana.
Yeah.
I don't think Tristana is the champion to do it. Like, I'd be okay if this was a different ADC. Tristana, if the rest of the fight's going well, is really great. But it's like, where is the damage on your team to actually get these resets, to get the rocket jumps, right? It's just you, basically. You have setup tools from the rest of your team, but I don't think there's enough damage. So I'm leaning more towards Omega. But it's possible Elysium's going to close it out here.
It certainly is possible. I agree though. I feel like Watercat clearly went for the Morgana as a response mainly to the Amumu, you have to imagine.
Yeah.
But when we think back to last game, Watercat was so pivotal as being the main carry for the team and doing so much of the heavy lifting in those fights. And it's going to be really hard to do that as the Morgana here. So it's going to be interesting to see. I do feel like Elysium are going to have the better execution. I don't think they really found big advantages here in the draft. Blitzcrank as well is a champion that's so binary, right? You can have Blitzcrank have like the god hand where he's just winning the game off of hooks, but he can also do absolutely nothing if you're not landing those Qs. Or in this case, he could actively hurt his own team if he hooks the wrong person. So that's gonna be really critical as well. Arrow's performance on the crank this game, and we'll have to see how it goes. The top lane matchup, Renekton into Scion, probably not too much to talk about there. The mid lane matchup, we're curious to see who's going to get the push, who's going to be able to get the more wave clear and perhaps look for plays early on. And the bot lane, again, it just comes down to the hooks from the Blitzcrank. Any other thoughts before we go into Breakstorm?
No, I mean, I think Omega their top laner should win like early, right? Renekton will outpush Scion for the majority of this early game. I'll be interested to see if we can get all the way to a full fearless best of 5. We have just had these 3-0s. I'm hoping this one goes the distance.
Yeah, we did have one 5-gamer, I believe, earlier in the playoffs. It's just we didn't get to cast that one. So
that's fair. Right.
Would be nice to get some silver scrapes happening on the stream tonight. We'll see if Omega can get us there, guys. We'll be right back with game number 4. Okay, folks, here we go. The fourth and possibly final game of the night. Elysium looking for the 3-1, secure their back-to-back finals berth. Omega, they finished in third
Oh,
place
it's a
last
5
season.
stack.
Five
Sorry.
versus 5 in the bot lane at level 1, and there is a Blitzcrank on the blue team. Comes down to the vision, though. A really nice ward there in the tri-brush for Omega, and they're going to play back. They're going to wait for Elysium to move in.
Yep.
But Omega don't really have great level 1 tools themselves.
Yeah, did notice there is that ward in the banana brush as well, so they're very much covered for the Blitzcrank invade on the bot side of the map.
And in the end, it will not come through.
Oh, that's interesting. Red, the Scorch Claw for Poppy Jungle. That's not normal, is it not? I'm pretty sure Poppy always takes blue Smite.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I guess it works with the passive, right? Where you throw your buckler at somebody and then they get slowed, and maybe it's easier for you to get the charge into the wall then on your
what the
slowed target.
Is that what the red smite does? I thought it just meant you did like extra damage.
No, there's a little bit of a slow on whoever
okay.
you proc it on. So that I imagine is the thought process for Guster. He is running the Dark Harvest, as we can see there on the Poppy as well. So possibly going to be playing very aggressive. And there's an early hook onto Jay. And is he going to immediately have to burn both summoners pre 2 minutes.
Oh, God.
And that is so big for the Blitzcrank. I mean, I feel like Blitzcrank, even more so than other hook champions, it's about like getting in your opponent's head, right? And once you land that first hook, I feel like it gets easier to land all of the subsequent hooks.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing I really think about is Blitzcrank is once you have hit the hook and got people's flash and stuff, is you just walk at them with W and E, right? You can just walk at them and like they'll try and juke the hook or whatever, and then as soon as you land the E, you have a Q confirm after, so.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Dilly and Arrow, like they're going to be putting on some pressure down here in the 2v2, but both junglers are going to be pathing down towards this bot lane, so potentially we'll see another fight down here pretty early on.
CZI just died
heavily here in the top lane. Yeah, he's only level 2 still. He's going to be able to walk back underneath the tower. Just barely tanky enough with the shield to survive. And now does have level 3. So a little bit of extra HP from the level up.
Okay, we do see both of our junglers rotating down here immediately. I don't really see Poppy being able to dive or anything like that with this Tristana, but maybe we're just looking. Oh, okay, that wasn't a great hook.
Did at least get the Valk out. Very high mana cost on that ability for the Corki.
Yeah, I guess this is just trying to get priorities so you're able to get this bot scuttle for your Poppy. Maybe that's the thought process here. Is that why we're trying to push in?
Caxi, not even going to fight for it. Immediately moving towards that topside river. So he can secure one of the Scuttle Crabs for himself. And should be able to do so no problem. And imagine Jay, you know, while Corki does like to play aggressive early, he doesn't have to. His scaling
that was a hook on the Corki.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Well, he did have the Valkyrie back, so he's going to be able to get away from that one without burning the flash, but Arrow continuing to land these is a good sign. And Caxi did not get around to securing that topside Scuttle Crab. I'm not sure why the Amumu was delayed, but it will be a double scuttle for Guster.
Yeah, and is late on his reset too. These Krugs are gonna have been spawned while he's waiting on getting his Faded Ashes. I'm hoping he's able to purchase that. He is. So at least has that going for him, but I don't know what Guster's doing here.
Wrap around onto Saren. All right. Let's see how it goes. Gets the heroic charge. Saren in a tough spot. Does still have the reflect. He's going to burn it now, but the Dark Binding is still available, and that's going to be the flash out from the Mel. A nice early look from Guster. Gets another summoner spell off of Omega.
And that's even bigger because Saren has burned their TP already, right? Ooh. They've reset already, so this means they're forced to stick around here. I really want to see Watercat take their reset here really soon and just get back to lane with this Faded Ashes or whatever and just start pressuring this Mel as hard as possible.
Yeah. Seems like a very comfortable spot so far for Elysium in the very early game. I believe this is a cannon wave coming in mid right now. Oh, I am incorrect. So Watercat is gonna, I guess, wait until that cannon wave is actually going to arrive before going for the reset.
Coxie does have a timer here to maybe go over and start this dragon. The bot lane for Elysium has reset and Omega is still around, so I don't really know if you want to go for this, but you do have the option right now. As that mid from Gus does mean he is a little behind on his clear speed, right? Every time you're ganking someone, that means you are not hitting your camps.
Not really behind. I mean, he's actually exactly even with Caxi right now in terms of that jungle CS, with more to farm as well, because he got that double scuttle earlier. So the Poppy will, in fact, end up a little bit ahead. And Caxi has gone for a reset. And a nice scryer there from Arrow. Can be able to identify that all of those bot side camps are currently on cooldown for the Amumu. So that is going to prompt the Dragon start for Guster. And obviously he does have Prio in mid and bot at the moment to be very, very comfortable in that objective take. And still over a minute until the grub. So we'll see if Elysium can look for both of those early neutrals this game. Watercat playing towards the bottom side of the lane as he should in this situation. Yeah. Caxi just waiting for some camps to respawn at the moment.
Yep, going to be able to claim this top scuttle, it looks like. I don't know if he's going to be able to look for this invade as well, maybe onto the enemy blue buff and try and take that away. Okay. Yep, is just going to start running towards it. Hopefully that means that, well, he is hitting a ward, so Gus does know that this is happening, does know that he can look for some sort of play on the bot side.
Yeah, and there's the charge into the wall, and the knock of a match tries to flash away, but the auto in the air for Dilly. First blood, Elysium 80 carry. And now Caxi gonna get caught on the blue buff, has to flash back into the river to survive. Perspicacious at least able to get a turret plate, but Elysium with the momentum here early on, carrying it through from getting... Caxi, what are you doing? He's just dead. Why are you re-invading?
I don't know. And that's a kill gifted over to CZI.
All right, well, and that's going to be the grubs are spawning now. Sarah now overstepping, does go for the reflect, still going to get stunned though, and the binding is going to be there. Oh, the what is the Mel ultimate called again? Whatever it's called, it gets the kill onto Watercat, and we're going to be able to check the name of that once Sarah respawns.
Yeah, that's at least not a complete horror show that we got that one kill back, but it's still looking really, really bad.
Okay, this could be a potential overstep for Guster, as he wants to get away. He will smite away the grub. Perspicacious, the slice and dice into the stun, but now Guster, there's a little charge into the wall. Dominus coming out from Perspicacious just to make sure he wasn't going to get burst down by the Poppy. And it looks like it will be two grubs over to Omega. Golden Eclipse, thank you. Oh, I was not going to get that.
Was that another Dark Harvest stack there as well from this Poppy? How many of those does our Poppy have?
Oh, really putting Wookiee to work here.
Yeah.
Let's see, four Dark Harvest stacks already.
I think so.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, Corky's dead. That's all right, Wookiee. We were giving you a lot to do there.
Yeah.
But it looks like Jay was actually not even in the lane when that happened. It must have just been a hook from Arrow.
Yeah.
To get the kill. Obviously, he didn't have flash from before.
Still has his barrier. I noticed that he didn't use it during that last play when that auto was in the air and the E was up. I was wondering if that was going to kill him, if he had a barriered. Feel like he probably could have tried to use it there, but I guess shield break does exist on this Blitzcrank.
It's true. Tough to say. I feel like maybe he would have lived on the previous play. Saren, once again, here in the mid lane, about to get flashback, but it's not back quite yet. And the Golden Eclipse is not enough this time around, but he does get the flashback. He manages to get away from the Poppy, and the Dark Binding is going to miss this time around, but Caxi's about to run out of mana. Guster re-engaging with the heroic charge. I think he's just going to burn down to the Amumu here. He can't get away, but the flashback in for Watercat, and he takes down Saren. 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Is he baiting with his E, the black shield? Like, he doesn't... Okay.
Oh, wow. And it's a solo kill for the Scion. Jay Young, what are we doing over
just
here?
got
He
hooked.
is just, I guess that was a really, I mean, he was nowhere near the, I mean, what even?
He must have been trying to clear out the tri-brush, right, with Sweeper or something, and then got hooked. That's my guess.
Dear. Well, it's about a 2,000 gold lead for Elysium right now. They already have the feat of warfare. We are all tied up in neutrals. And again, like, and 3 of these kills onto Dilly early on is obviously a good thing for Elysium. But it does just sort of reinforce the fact that he is going to be the main threat that Omega need to worry about. So that's something we're going to have to continue keeping in mind. As long as the game is still relatively close, I feel like Omega are always going to have the chance to get a big team fight and kind of turn things around.
Yeah, they have a very clear target, and they always will, and it is going to be Dilly. I'm hoping that Dilly is going to be able to itemize something kind of safer in their kit if they're able to get a Bloodthirster or something along those lines later on. You know, Tristana does gain that auto range as the game progresses, but I think just towards the mid game needs that one thing to try and keep themselves safe. Looking Arrow here. Gonna see if they can find a hook onto Jae Young or something, maybe.
Very nice for Omega that they were able to get that Scuttle Crab vision. They do have that Ward of the Banana Brush as well. It's not going to be swept out just yet. Arrow looking. And, oh, he gets pulled back. There's the interaction. So Mel gets the crank underneath the tower, but ultimately not going to matter too much. Arrow is now chunked down to 50%. And we see the rotation coming up from Madge and Jay. As Guster and Arrow still hanging out here in the line rush. This time he's going to find the hook onto Caxi. But Caxi immediately didn't want to be there. He's going to flash away. And now the retreat for Elysium back underneath the mid-tier 1 with Madge and Jay moving over. They briefly have the numbers advantage. Dilly is now here as well, ready to fight. But Arrow is extremely low on mana. Maybe one more hook for this Blitzcrank?
I don't think he has enough. It's 100 mana for hook or something like that. Like it's... Okay, we have enough for one hook.
And it's going to be, it looks like Prio in mid. Watercat is going to be able to get that. As Dilly returns to the bot lane. Fight for this Prio up against Madge's Corki. Guster moving down behind Arrow here. And actually full recall going to be channeled by Caxi. Just kind of giving up on the dragon, potentially. Although I guess Elysium aren't aware that the Umumu has reset.
Yeah, they're pinging. There's a ping on it towards now. That was Caxi, I believe. But just so many camps up, right? The Amumu's topside camps have basically fully respawned. The wolves are up. Your Grump is respawning fairly soon here. It's just so much time out on the map that you just need to start farming. But
he's going to find a bandage toss onto Arrow, who is going to flash away and then pulls Caxa in. He does still have the ultimate, but he's not even getting a chance to use it. It's Leandri's rush for Amumu, very standard, but it means he dies so quickly. And a Dark Binding, but the trade back for Saren onto the back. And here comes Dilly, jumps over the wall. That's going to be the kill onto Saren, and Jay is completely out of mana there. Jumping
Dilly,
forward,
you have to go forward here, right?
Yeah, there should be no threats on the Tristana at all at this point. And Madge is still full HP, but the Corki's not going to be able to fight 1v3. And it will be a Dragon number 2, double Dragon over to Elysium. And it's probably going to be a really good soul this game as well. Let's see what we've got.
Mountain, okay. That's really good for your Scion.
And Poppy.
I don't think this is going to be very good because I'm pretty sure our Poppy's building full lethality, if I had to guess.
That's fair. But he's stacking a lot of, I mean, it's not full lethality. It's going to be like some kind of bruisery build. He's got the tunneler there in inventory. It looks like potentially
that's Sundered
Sky Rush. Okay.
Maybe it's the Sundered.
It's going to have some health.
Yeah, maybe it's Sundered Sky into like Dead Man's Plate.
Yeah, that would make sense to me, I think.
Yeah, it would make sense to me as well. It's not what I want, of course, but...
So both mid laners going to get bound there, and neither one of them is actually going to get bound.
Yep.
Both bindings will land, and neither one will have an effect. Very confusing. And is that just me again on the stuttering here for the stream, or is that you as well this time?
I think a little bit of stuttering here, but not bad. Just kind of brief moments.
Quickly reconnect again here.
Yeah, for sure. So, see Saren and all of those guys walking up there towards the Rift Herald. Caxi is going to start this off. We do see that Blitzcrank is bot lane, so Maj and Jae Young split up for now. Arrow and Dilly going to be able to take this first tower here and secure feats for themselves. But that's going to be the Herald going over for the side of Elysium, or for the side of Omega.
Right.
I wonder
So
will
that
that
is
be
then,
anything.
Ooh, dashing in. It looks like his Perspicacious popped the Dominus. Keeper's Verdict getting channeled by Guster. Not going to let it rip.
Yep. Gonna put it back on that lower cooldown for not fully channeling, for not actually letting it go. You can see that it will be back up, and I think it's 30 seconds is what they've changed it to. It used to be something like 15.
Yep, exactly
and
right
Riot
there.
decided to change that. But yeah, it is this Black Cleaver rush here on Perspicacious to try and cut through some of the Scion beef. And yeah, I see a cloth armor in this inventory as well for Caxi, so it might be this Dead Man's Rush as I was talking about. We see both mid
Flash over the
laners.
wall. Arrow looking. Ooh, very close there. Jay just far enough away to not get hooked.
Gonna
He's going to
find
find
Gus.
Guster here in the bush. Caxi also in the area. And Guster not going to overcommit for that one.
I'm guessing this is just double burn items from both of these mid laners, that it's going to be another Leandries coming through or something like that for Saren. Unsure though. Has the Blackfire done anyway?
Right, 2 minutes on our next dragon. It would be absolutely massive for Elysium if they can get up to Mountain Soul Point. That would put them in a really commanding position for the rest of this game. Caxi is a little bit isolated in that bot river right now, but will be able to retreat towards the bot lane.
Yeah, and I just don't see very much happening unless there's a random kill top lane here in the next while. That I think it's this full minute and a half, and that's what both teams are really standing for and looking for. We do see Jay rotating up towards this top lane here. That's interesting.
Yeah, we saw him up there a little bit earlier as well, where it was like a 2v2 with Jay and Persp versus CZI and Guster. This time around, Guster's not here, so Persp is just going to be able to slap this turret a little bit. And it looks like they will actually get the full tower. So first turret blood going over to Omega. And I think it's all going to come down to this next neutral objective for who gets the feats of strength.
Feats are already claimed. They got the bot lane turret one.
My mistake. Arrow is here now. Gonna get locked up by the bandage toss. Guster on the wraparound as well. The Blitzcrank does flash away. The charge into the wall onto the Renekton. It just gets CC'd, put in the bouncy castle. Still alive for now. Slices can't get the Q back up off cooldown, but the Golden Eclipse there from Saren doing a lot of work. Picks up the double kill, and Zombie Scion not gonna be able to chase anybody down. Arrow gets reverse hooked by Saren. And now the Blitzcrank and the Poppy.
Oh, here comes Dilly.
Here, jumps forward, gets the kill onto the Mel. Raid boss has arrived. And that is going to be a couple of kills back over to Elysium. Looks like a 3 for 2 overall. Elysium get the better end of it. Dragon spawning now, though, and nobody is on that bottom side of the map. Maj not quite going to have enough minions to take this mid-tier 1 just yet. Meanwhile, top tier 1 is going to be taken by the Tristana, who is now 5-0.
Yeah, I think this is IE not quite able to be finished here yet. Oh, there it is now, finished for Dilly. Has the cleanse for this upcoming team fight as well, and there's no ult for Caxi or Jaeyoung. You did see that they did not quite layer those properly in that last team fight. Jaeyoung didn't quite wait for the Amumu ult to fully charge out and did, stun with the crescendo a little too early. But here's the fight. We've already taken CZI down here. Let's see, are we able to get this dragon immediately?
They're just going to start it up. There's no control over the area at all right now for Omega. They can try to force their way in. They do have the Rift Herald there in mid lane, but they're going to get the charge. They're going to get the mid-tier 1. They are not going to get the dragon. Caxi is going to be able to hop back into Shelly, use her as a getaway vehicle to escape from that collapse that's coming out from Elysium. But
we didn't drift very well there.
That's a tough drive. Very narrow road to try to get through. Oh, a fight in the
Oh,
mid
that was
lane
a
as
hook.
Aaron's in trouble once again. Gonna get jumped on by the Tristana, who is now dominating. And CCI looking to close off the escape route. First Vacations with the stun, but gets charged into the wall, pulled in by the Blitzcrank, and Dilly is there for the damage. Binding gonna come through as well. And the Renekton is gonna go down. That's a 5v3 on the map now for Elysium. Nothing else that they can really take right now, but they are
New
definitely in a
guys
very
down in the
comfortable spot.
bot lane.
Oh, true, actually.
And this
Looking for the mid-tier one for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am really struggling over here. It's my stream is not doing so well.
Oh, I wonder why on that end. But I can try and take over if you'd like, or we can pause this maybe for a bit and see. But I think it's fine on my end.
All right, well we'll just keep going.
Right.
I'll see if I can make it work. Yeah, Otacon is alive.
Yep.
But I feel like Elysium, they don't need to rush anything at this point. I mean, they're in such a comfortable spot in this game. I feel like you just wait for
stole the
Mountain
gromp
Soul.
there. How?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Little salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, gone for the early Oblivion Orb there on the Morgana. Did we mention that already?
No, I'm wondering what healing that is cutting through, because Sona doesn't heal that much. It's more shielding
here's another
power.
little fight breaking out. Dark Binding onto Caxi.
That's a
Teleport
TP
coming in for
from
Purse.
Has he bought his boots yet? Does he? I noticed he did. Oh, that's a big.
Toss. There's a hook. They get the Crocodile. He does manage to get on top of Dilly. He was shrunk down to about half. Caxi going in, though, and the Renekton has already been taken down. CZI creating so much space there on the back line as well. Nobody can follow up on what Caxi is trying to do here. And there's another hook gonna land for Arrow. Saren finding himself right on top of the Poppy and the Scion. That's gonna be everybody in Omega getting taken down. Elysium just dissecting
there on
the
the
team
Maj.
fight. Maj, the last survivor. That's
Another-
being smashed for the knock-up, the charge into the wall, and the clean 5-0 ace. Elysium take complete control.
Yep, and that's going to be Atacon, or new guy, going down here. CZI is well able to get this wave shoved in. Look at all of these waves just collapsing as well. Just insult to injury, just more gold getting flushed down the drain. And this is already a 6k gold lead pre-25 minutes for Omega here. And with this Atacon taken and being on Soul Point, I gotta feel that this series is going to end pretty soon.
Yeah, Elysium should have everything that they need, I think, to close things out from here. Just a question of, as you said earlier, crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
Yep.
If Omega were going to try to find a way back into this game, and how would they even go about it? I mean, I guess Saren is decently strong, does have 2.5 items right now.
Yeah, but Maj is going for the greediest build imaginable. This is how we used to build Corki. Trinity Force into Muramana into then other items like Infinity Edge or whatever.
Jay
it gives
in
you the
trouble,
highest
gonna get
highs.
hooked in. Another pick for Arrow and Elysium. You were saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying that this guy's like 10 or 15 minutes out of this game from being like getting a huge spike. We don't even have our Muramana done yet.
Feels like it might not last that long, the game,
Oh,
as it were. Oh, that was an
Arrow.
interesting blast cone, but Arrow not going to get bandaged. Mid-tier 2, the target now, as you're going to have to take this
that's
fight,
a
I
hook.
think.
And a big knock up there. Another CZI knock up as well. Purse able to try and get some damage down, but isn't able to get anything. Watercat with the ult channeling onto Maj. Gonna get that stun as well. Sona is respawned here for Jaeyoung, but Dilly getting in on this head with the rocket jump. The Goomba Stomp going to die as well. And that should be this mid tower going down. The inhib going to get taken. Yeah,
Everybody's dead on the side of Omega. It's 20 seconds still on Saren. The minion wave is here. Saren is already DC'd. He knows it's over. Elysium, the defending champions from Season 1, will return to the finals to defend their title against TSI.
Yeah, just a dominant 2 games back-to-back from them. Elysium looking like the best team, and we're going to have to see, are they able to put up a fight? Because the last time they played TSI, that was a rough one, right? We saw
Yeah,
that 3-0
yeah.
last week, and gonna have to see with this form coming in and some momentum coming from this lower bracket, are they able to put a stop to this TSI dominance? You know,
Yeah,
Watercat, I
definitely.
think, had a fantastic series this game, and they're gonna need to be able to bring that out against MBK.
I felt like the main thing that went wrong for Elysium before, we touched on this like on the top of the
Yeah,
stream during Otter Talk. It felt to me like it was really an underperformance from Elysium's top side in that
yeah,
upper bracket final up against Team Solo Invade, but they were very much on form tonight. I mean, Guster on the poppy here, 7-1 and 10, found so many great angles early on. And yeah, CZI and Watercat, I thought both performed very, very well tonight also. CZI just going back to basics, right? Just locking in tanks in all of their wins for Elysium. CZI was just on like almost a pure tank. So
yeah.
feels like they have a recipe, and it's just we're gonna have to see how it works against TSI next week. Gonna be very exciting. For Omega, you know, they clearly were looking very good in the playoffs leading up to this series, but just met their match tonight against Elysium. Watercat just kind of had an edge, it felt like, in almost every game in the mid lane. And it did feel like Caxi kind of got outpathed a bit in the jungle as well.
Yeah, I had said in the beginning of the season I was worried about Saren and kind of said they might be a first round exit team. I had called them that, right? And then they had gotten their fate changed. Um, got to play against a different team and were able to kind of carry themselves through. I'm really hoping that Omega is able to bounce back in the next season, but I wonder how many of these players we're gonna see in Emerald together, because I feel like some of these players had a pretty good season. Just be interesting to see if they're able to get more time together, if they're able to build up some more of that synergy and get some games going.
Yeah, yeah. We were actually just hearing from Lesser earlier. I believe the Omega organization is not going to be represented in Emerald, but certainly some of these players might be playing in the league. So that would be very interesting to see if that is the case. You know how they end up performing there. So they definitely, I mean, they ended up finishing on the podium this season of Premier, right? Top three
Yeah.
again for Omega. The same place they finished in last season. I'm sure they would have really loved to do a little bit better this time around, but Elysium just a little bit too tall of a mountain tonight for them to climb. And yeah, I mean, props to Nubly as well. The fact that he was subbing in those first couple of games for Omega this evening got them. You know, Nubly was on the Rift for their one win in this series tonight. And yeah, Jay coming back. We thought maybe that was going to be enough to get Omega over the line, but he didn't really, wasn't really able to get it done tonight either. So just some strong performances across the board from Elysium, and props to them for really, I feel like correcting a lot of the mistakes that we saw from them last week, and just really strong performances tonight. It was great to see.
Yeah. I think Elysium looked good tonight. Gonna be interesting to see if they can take that next step up and are able to threaten TSI, who've been clearly the powerhouses kind of the whole season, I really feel like, right? They've been a top team this whole way through. Haven't had the lows that Elysium and some of these other teams have had. And in the playoffs so far have been the team to beat. So we'll have to see next week in our grand finals if Elysium can make that comeback series.
This should be an awesome best of five. Any other final thoughts, Storm, before we close things out here for tonight?
No, I think I'm all good.
All right. Well, guys, don't forget, we're going to have the Emerald League starting this coming Tuesday. And Storm and I are going to be on that one. The Stormman duo returning for another season of Emerald. So be sure you tune in for that one. Again, we will have the grand finals of Premier here next Saturday. We'll be around for that as well. So for myself and Storm and Wookie and everybody here at Blue Water, thank you, everybody, very much for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.